Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm supposed to take sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right about
I don't think I've ever said this before.
All right, so gang, there's a study I saw yesterday that I really want to talk about today on the podcast. It showed Gen Z women who voted for Kamala versus Gen Z men who voted for Trump, where having a child was on their top 20 priority list. Let me put it to you this way. You will be shell-shocked. Well, maybe some of you guys won't be shocked, but we'll take a look at that here momentarily on that study. It tells you what each side is selling. So if I voted for Kamala, what do I believe in? Do I believe in certain things? And if I voted for Trump, what do I believe in? And by the way, the long-term ramification on who it helps and hurts. You know, one of the things at the Vol conference, which, we have the clip somewhere. We'll show it to you here momentarily, Rob, if you can get it from Chad. There was a moment at the Vol conference in front of nearly 8,000 people. I said, who here has more than 4 kids? More than 5 kids stay standing. More than 6 kids standing. More than 7 kids stand, more than 8 kids. And then I had all the parents with 8+ kids come up to recognize them. This is a very, very fundamental leak in the argument of one side that is going to screw them up long term. But that's one of the things we're going to talk about. The other part is this guy named James Comey. He used to have a job as a director of this thing called FBI that he has been indicted for now. Okay, and that's causing some of his FBI members to quit. And they're just stepping away. They're walking away. And after what happened with Kimmel, wait to see the number of viewership he got on his first episode back. He threatens lawsuit over ABC resuming Kimmel, and his claims about campaign finance law. He talks about, the Forbes story we're going to talk about here. Whoopi Goldberg suggested maybe time to invoke the 22nd Amendment, maybe the 23rd. Who knows what it is? Maybe it's the 25th Amendment. You guys see this clip. They don't even know what amendment they're talking about, but they think it's time for Trump to step out. New York City, this Mamdani guy is getting a bigger lead, and there's not many people excited about Eric Adams, so who knows what's going to happen. Then Curtis Lewa is claiming that he was offered money to step out. Who knows what's going on in that New York situation. Megyn Kelly goes out there, talks to students at schools over Charlie Kirk's assassination, lie at Virginia Tech TPUSA event. White House unveils these pictures of all the presidents. I hadn't seen this till yesterday, guys. Tom, Vinny, and Adam showed it to me yesterday. It's pictures of all the great presidents, one by one. And then it comes to Biden. Biden's picture is by far the best picture. So, I mean, you can tell he was posing solid on that picture there. Newsom is claiming there will not be a 2028 election because he thinks, Trump's going to change America. And you won't be able to vote, folks, 2028. Yet he's campaigning every single day to be a president in 2028, leading with a ton of fear porn. And if you like fear porn, you're going to love Newsom. Newsom may be the greatest fear porn star of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to realize, how they give this Vivid Awards every year in Vegas, and this porn guy, this guy named, Chess Rockwell, this other guy named Larry Longhorn, all these names that they give away.
Peter North.
This is going to be the greatest fear porn star of all time. Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
Right? Welcome to the jungle.
I could see Gavin doing actual
No, we're not going there, buddy. Stay focused.
Playing with his hands.
Look, you have interest in that. We don't in our jackets pull out a card of a guy that says,
illusionist.
welcome to Excalibur.
Oh, boy.
Illusionist.
Let me tell you this
Down
illusionist. Under. Adam's the only one that's got cards of
well, PBD, read my last text. Tell me what this says.
And it's like...
Lithium
we'll get you Thunder
America's
Down Under for your next birthday.
Shares surge 90%
Tom.
as Trump requesting. This war between Tom and Adam is real, folks. It's not an act. They really don't like each other. Every time when we leave, our security comes in the middle.
Yep.
Tom leaves this way, Adam leaves this way. If not, it's a fight breaks out every single time.
To be honest, I'm actually the scared one. I'm the one that hired
Tom
the security.
Tom knows
I don't want to get
jujitsu.
stabbed with
Netflix
the pocket
boss,
protector.
you see his ear, the cauliflower ears on Tom?
Yeah.
You guys
You've never seen Tom's ears, yeah.
He knows jujitsu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're Jewish, so
Exactly.
jujitsu.
Netflix boss, top Dem donor, Reed Hastings praises Trump. We have to hit this story with Indian politicians really, really upset over Trump's $100,000 fee on H-1B visa. Charlie Kirk suspect's trans lover has vanished, like disappeared.
Yeah.
Shaken neighbors share fresh fears as new photos show abandoned home. And by the way, some new things that came out with videos and stuff that we're going to go through with you, and digging and putting something in a hat and George Zinn. Just this thing keeps continuing and continuing and continuing. And by the way, maybe they could have covered up John F. Kennedy's assassination. Maybe they could have covered up MLK's assassination. Maybe they could have covered up RFK, his assassination. Because there was one thing missing back then in the 60s. You know what it was?
Cell
This.
phones. Yeah.
This wasn't there. And today you got 3,500 people going like this. Like, you think you're not going to catch what's going on there, guys? Like, does the place have cameras? Yeah, it's called 3,500 cameras of people that are recording everything. So anyways, I don't know what's going on there. We'll definitely talk about it. You remember the Coldplay where that CEO was hanging out with the HR's, what do you call it? His,
of course.
Director of HR.
We couldn't
and
escape
they were
it.
hanging out together. Well, guess what? The story gets even more spicier. Yes. The lady who was the HR lady, her husband was there with his mistress.
Stop it.
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
It's such a
The
great
plot
story.
thickens.
We have a great movie clip.
Yeah.
We dug
This
it
is
up.
Truly a show is what it is. But listen.
Where
thanks.
was that show? What city?
Where were you, Adam?
Where
Let me
were
just give you? Justice Department.
I'll tell you where I was.
Mamdani.
Not listening to Coldplay.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, don't diss him.
Eric Adams.
Oh, is that where he draw the line?
Mamdani. We're going to
Wow,
go through it. Okay. Housing 500,000 homes. We're going to talk about that. By the way, what is this story about owners of Radio Shack, Pier 1 Imports, and other brands accused by SEC of operating a $112 million Ponzi scheme?
Bad.
Whoa.
Was that our friend in that?
I think so, but let's not
friends
jump
in
to
that?
conclusions.
Okay.
Tai Lopez and Alex Mer. We'll talk about it, but we'll see what's going on there. Fed governor installed by Trump's outlines bold case to slash interest rates. We got that. Ray J. You guys ready for this one? This is Tom's top story. Ray J makes shocking claim he's helping feds build a case against Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. I don't know why Tom's
Whoa.
interested in it.
Whoa.
But we have to talk about that.
And
But
Tom
the-
watched all the videos, the research
Yeah,
to
of
find
course.
out what Jay-Z.
Every one of
Yeah.
them.
Or
By the way,
where
we
Ricky's
know
coming
who
from.
did. We know who here did. I'm not going to mention his name, but we're watching a lot of
Exactly.
Kim Kardashian videos saying, you can't tell me 100% of men haven't seen the Kim Kardashian
And I
video.
was
I'm like,
like, yeah, well, I
many
haven't.
haven't, buddy,
Yeah, I
but
haven't.
you have, and it's I respect it. I mean, he's got a good game. National security. But, okay, so butt lifts in Miami.
Adam?
Breast implants
Yep.
in Beverly Hills.
Ready for you, Pat.
Plastic surgery by region. They're looking at what part of the country focuses on butt implants, breast, and then rhinoplasty. You got to give shout out to the
true. Yeah,
rhinoplasty
that's true.
folks,
We gotta
guys.
look
You
into
better
that
watch
one
your
as well.
language when you
Yes.
give because some of the best rhinoplasty folks.
We're going to do our research on that one.
Yeah,
Pat.
and then Peter Thiel. Everyone's wondering why does this guy keep talking about Antichrist? Why want us to think about the Antichrist stuff? What is it? Is it like we got to give our life to Christ even faster?
Yeah.
I don't know. But there's a bunch of other stories that maybe we'll get into. Obama's trolling a bunch of old men. He's not happy with you guys, old men.
He's just bitter.
Okay, he's just not happy with all the grumpy old men, according to him. We'll share that. And then a few other things that we got here as well. On top of that, folks, for her take, if you or somebody you know arrived, just put the link below if you don't mind. Put the link below if you want to nominate anybody. I got swamped by so many messages. I'll nominate myself. I'll nominate myself. I'll nominate myself. If you have anybody that you recommend, we now have a list of over 100 ladies that would like to be on her take. And we're excited about it. We're going to build that into a top show for 2027, 2028. And very, very excited about that show. And I think it's going to turn into something very special. We had a very good a Zoom yesterday talking about what the plans are with the show. What happened? What happened, Tom?
No, what you were talking about.
Oh, okay. So, and so having said that, for those of you guys that would like to nominate somebody, you can simply go to this form, put their name down. And the biggest thing for us is, guys, this person needs to have influence. You know, some of you guys are putting some, look, I've never posted a video on YouTube before. I've never done anything, but I think I would be great. We need folks that have experience doing this. So if there's anybody you like that you want to nominate, put their names there. Or if it's yourself and you're somebody that you've done a lot of content and you want to be part of the show, we'd love to talk to you. We're looking for the host. We're looking for co-host. We're looking for co-hosts because we're going to have a rotation because a lot of people live in different places. But the person that would be the main host, we need that person to be in South Florida because we want to drive a lot of eyeballs to her take. This was one of the biggest weeks of eyeballs going to her take. And it's a phenomenal concept that we're excited about long term. So again, Rob, did you put the link in comment section and description?
And it's also pinned. Yep.
Fantastic. Just go click on a link, nominate anybody you think would be good on that show. We would love to speak with them. Okay. Having said that, let's get right into it. All right. So James Comey, you wake up one morning and you read a story. Justice Department seeks to indict former FBI Director James Comey for allegedly lying to Congress. Now, why would he lie to Congress, Vinny? I mean, do you
Great
believe he is
question.
capable of lying to Congress?
Not James
Why would he
Comey.
do such a thing?
Not
You're
him.
talking to Congress.
Yeah.
You're the director of FBI. Okay, let me read this, and then we got some clips here to show you. I know a lot of you guys are worried about this. So the Justice Department is seeking to indict Director Comey for perjury as the deadline for bringing charges looms. Fox News has learned the probe into Comey centers is whether he lied to Congress on September 30th, 2020, testimony about his handling of the investigation to Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, which, Rob, I think that's the clip right there that you have, right? The one that they're claiming if he did or not. Go ahead and play the clip, and I'll read the rest.
There should be no fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during 2016.
You better be right
cycle.
when you say
They
something
did it
like
with
that.
Purpose. They did it with sophistication. They did it with overwhelming technical efforts. And it was an active measures campaign driven from the top of that government. There is no fuzz on that. It is a high confidence judgment of the entire intelligence community. And the members of this committee have seen the intelligence. It's not a close call. That happened. That's about as unfake as you can possibly get. And it's very, very
unfake.
serious, which is why it's so refreshing to see a bipartisan focus on that, because this is about America, not about any particular party.
All right.
So that was a hostile.
That's how you make a statement and double down 3 times in the
And
same
you know
paragraph.
what's great about that statement? You know when you make a statement like that. What was the date on that, Rob, by the way? That's
June
what?
of 2017.
When he said that. Okay. So that is Trump's been president then for how long? A year and 5 months? A year and 4 months at that time?
No.
5
4
months.
months.
4 or 5
Inaugurated
months. Yes.
January of
That's right.
17.
5 months, because 26 was the campaign. Yes. So let me continue. Under federal law, prosecutors have 5 years to bring a charge within a 5-year mark occurring during Tuesday. The case is being handled by U.S. Attorney's Office for Eastern District of Virginia. DOJ officials are close to deciding whether to prosecute the Director Comey for allegedly lying to Congress on September 2020. A source said there's a grand jury underway looking at the matter in Virginia. Decision could come any day. The extent of the potential charges was unclear as what was which part of his testimony could be subjected to perjury charges. President Donald Trump has criticized Comey for years over his handling of the investigation and other matters. I think they're very dishonest people. I think they're crooked as hell. Trump said in July about Comey and CIA Director John Brennan, and maybe they have to pay a price for that. Trump eventually fired Comey in 2017. Is this a new tweet, Rob?
Yes,
this is
last night.
Perfect. Justice in America, one of the worst human beings this country has ever been exposed to is James Comey, the former corrupt head of the FBI. Today he was indicted by a grand jury of 2 felony counts for various illegal and lawful acts. He has been so bad for our country for so long and is now at the beginning of being held responsible for his crimes against our nation. Make America great again. Tom, your thoughts on the story here?
Well, there's a couple things here. First of all, they're coming up on the deadline, but it shows you that below the surface, they were investigating this. So, Vinny, a lot of times we were concerned, and even Adam, we were talking about this, we were concerned, are they doing anything? Is Cash doing anything? We haven't heard about this. We haven't heard about that. Well, it turns out that, below the surface, there is stuff going on, which is good, and they had a grand jury. Now, the question is, do they have to rush it because they're Get it?
Cut
Rush
off of the
Russia.
fire.
Oh,
Do they
that was
have
a
to
good one.
rush the Russia thing because they're coming up on a deadline? But a grand jury is a special panel. So if the grand jury says, yeah, I think we've seen enough, then it really doesn't matter about the deadline. And if it's coincidentally the 5-year deadline, it means the grand jury has come to the end of it and said, there's enough here. 2 things we're going to watch out for. Which jurisdiction will the case be in? And now we've got Virginia, which is kind of a wince. Eastern District of Virginia is a liberal jurisdiction. And then what judge will be on the case? Because who appoints most all of these judges in these areas? Presidents. Yep. So who appointed this judge? Now we know that judges do lean politically A lot. So that's going to be the question. The third item is when you step back on this, some legal scholars last night, while I was reading, and they were like, it's basically he is the leader of the FBI. And so his argument will be that was the best information I had at the moment from my entire organization, including multiple people. And I presented that to Congress. I was telling the truth about the information I had. So he's going to hide behind that a little bit. And that's how it might play out. But that's what I think. And by the way, this is what Trump wanted. This is what I wanted to see. This is what a lot of people wanted to see. And I hope we can get through the fog of this and get to a real trial.
Tom, I agree with you 100%. And listen, and I'm going to be honest. I remember how our attitude was like, hurry up. Nothing's happening. I don't have it. You said have some hope. Have some faith. I had to start practicing that for real. And this last night was one of the happiest. I was like, finally, now the dominoes, Tom, this is the first one.
Give me one of these.
Give me that, Pat. Like, it's fine.
There you go, buddy.
Finally, some accountability. And like you said, let's see if it goes to trial. Like, once it goes to trial and he gets behind bars, because this guy, he's been one of the key, excuse me, the FBI's, what's it called, Tom?
They're emotional?
Fab, just, I'm sorry. Their credibility has been so damaged, and this was the freaking head of the snake with, thank you, Pat. I want to just get that out of there. But if you guys think about it, outside of all the crap that he did against Trump, do you remember what he did with the Clintons, how he was shielding Hillary for all those years, Tommy? In 2016, when he softened the language, when Hillary was doing all the email scandal and all her things that she was blatantly guilty for, he changed with, I think it was Loretta Lynch.
Wiping the server.
Yeah, wiping the server with a bleach bit. They said that she... James Comey with Loretta Lynch changed the verbiage of her indictment, not indictment, but they said they went from grossly negligent, which implies criminality, to extreme carelessness. So they gave her a pass. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. He was involved with that. And he signed off on Russia collusion and all that stuff. He thought he was untouchable. And now, guys, remember that cryptic message that he put with those little rocks? 8647. Yep. That, in my opinion, was like hey, guys, get rid of his ass. Get rid of his ass because this is coming down. Now, mind you, there's a bunch of clips, Rob. We don't have to show him. He was bragging about what he did to
How
General
much
Flynn.
You think this accelerated everything? How much you think this post of 8647 accelerated all of it?
I think it played. I think it played.
You think it played any role?
Yes, I did.
I think so as well.
If you're in the background,
you have
you're in the grand
audacity.
jury?
We don't want to do anything to you. You want to say 8647. You don't think we know what that means? No problem. Okay. You want to play that game? Boom. You're being indicted.
100%. 100%.
And no, we don't know what 8647 means. Yeah, nobody knows. It's just an innocent bunch of shells.
He stumbled upon that when he was walking with his wife. And you know what's crazy too? The whole family is having a lot of stuff going on. His daughter, Maureen Comey, was fired with the whole Epstein situation. And then his son-in-law, who prosecuted all the January 6ers, which I know we're going to get into that too, he resigned his position as assistant U.S. attorney after his father-in-law. That's the letter right there. To uphold my oath to my father-in-law, get rid of Constitution and country, I hereby resign as the Assistant United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia and the Department of Justice, effective immediately. Good. The trash is taking out itself. I'm so freaking happy that they're starting to do it, but guess what? I want the other ones. The Hillarys, the Obamas, the Brennans.
And another one.
Yeah, I want all of them to go.
One.
Tom, so inside the FBI, who flips?
Great question. I think, you know what? You only need one or two people inside the FBI to have actually a conscience about this.
Weird.
And to flip. And now you've got a new administration and you've got Kash Patel there. I believe that they probably already have some names and they have some people that are going to be like, hey, you know, there's been things coming out in the last few days, some of which Trump will want to hear, some of which he won't want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, somebody on Epstein is not something he wants to hear. And then this, I think we're going to see some people flip inside the FBI.
Let me tell you, Rob ran a poll, and our audience is generally fair when they vote for certain things. Some of the things they're going to be like, no, they disagree with us, right? Ran a poll, 4,000 people have voted. Is James Comey guilty? What do you think the percentage is? Don't pull it up, Rob.
92%.
It's not going to be
92%.
pretty for Comey.
92 is high. What do you think it is?
I'll go 85.
Can you go higher than 100?
Okay, so you guys are good.
80?
It's 95.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
were right. Yeah, check this out. Open it up, Rob.
For some reason, it's not loading. I
It's
don't know.
95% yes, he's guilty.
Good for you.
5% he's not. To the 5% that they say they're not, we thank you for joining this podcast. We'd love to meet you.
We love you guys.
The 5%. Oh,
but
what
can I say one thing before we go to Adam? Like, what can we do, guys? What can you do, Tom? I know it's almost impossible, but the bias that we saw from him openly, Trump hater him.
What can you do?
What can we do to stop? Meaning, can we do it
can't.
to where you guys can't vote? If you have voted, I'm sorry, you can't because you are internally like, dude, Andy McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page. If you saw because I was that guy, Pat. I was sat there and watched everything that had to do with Trump and Russia and everything. These people were blatantly messaging each other saying, we need an insurance policy. He's not going to be the president. It'd be the worst thing. And when he was messaging Lisa Page, this is like just rough. He was like, no, we're going to stop him. We're going to stop the president. And it's like, what kind of insanity? Like this is that deep state.
If you're saying, what can you do?
Yeah, what can we do to not let this happen again?
Every 90 days when we ran the insurance company, we would publicly terminate a few agents that were doing wrongdoings.
Good.
Just to make a statement to everybody.
Okay, good.
Hey, no forgery. None of this. You're out. This person. And we would say the names.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. And then it went from having to do it every 90 days to having to do it every 6 months to having to do it once a year. But no matter how much you do it, people still think they can get away with it.
Course.
Right?
Yeah.
We just had a lawsuit for a couple of our guys for $6.2 million. They thought they could get away with it. And they're still doing it.
Yeah.
And one of them was served and the other one wasn't served. And the other one that wasn't served, the lawyer said just write an article in the local paper to let their names know because that's where you're going to be able to serve them. But even though you do that, even there's another guy behind them that did something that we have. So you can, no matter what you do to teach people to not do stupid things, there's always somebody around the corner that thinks they're smart, that they're not going to get caught. Okay. And no one's going to find out about what I did. You know, almost like the, what do you call it? Like, who is that, the movie Homeless? Home
Alone?
Home Alone, right? What was it? The two
Culkin?
guys. The two
Joe
guys. What was the group's
Pesci
name?
and,
The Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits.
Bandits.
Right, the Wet Bandits, right? Like stuff like that. Like you think they can get away with it, right? And then you're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You just took these guys for $104,000. Then they come back and get you. So these types of things happen. However, Adam, I'm going to go to you. Then I want to come to James O'Keefe, send a clip about what happened with the guy that he talked to, which is absolutely. So I think the transition is perfect into that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, you talked about James Comey and the whole 86-47 thing. We didn't hear from James Comey forever. And all of a sudden, there's the 86-47 thing as he's promoting his book. Here's what Elon Musk had to say about FAFO, Mr. Comey. So he's going to...
Elon's hilarious.
Listen, James Comey is going to have his day in court. We're going to find out if he's guilty or not. But I'm going to rush to judgment on one thing. So gaslighting the public, this is something that we're going to need to address. This whole Russia hoax. James Comey, you're going to have to owe me and millions of Americans, at the very least, an apology. Because I remember watching that thing in 2017 and being like, oh my God, they got Trump with Russia. He said the following words: we have high intelligence that Russia interfered with the election. It's not even a close call. He said there is no fuzz on this. And now, 10 years later, it may be a fact that it's all just been fabricated. How many people have felt for the Russia hoax? I did. How many people still have TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and their brain is hemorrhaging because they see Trump and they freak out because of people like this? Whether it's the media, whether it's the intelligence community, whether it's universities, whatever it is, we got to have some accountability here because our country is reeling right now, and it's the people that we depend on, the intelligence community, to basically give some credibility here, and they've gaslit us to think that Trump is a Russian asset.
Do you have this picture because Mr. Comey's waiting to jump on a podcast? Because it looks like he's live.
He's on a Zoom.
No, this is his video response last night.
Okay, let's see it.
Family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump.
Shut up.
But we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way.
Oh, really?
We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly
What does that
recently.
even mean?
What is on your knees?
No,
like,
Pat. No.
Praying?
Yeah.
Is he
What's he
Muslim?
talking about, Rob?
I don't know.
Didn't Lewinsky say the same thing?
No, but what is he talking about?
Go ahead.
I believe he's referencing bending the knee as if he's bending down to a dictator.
Yeah.
Oh, like
It's
praying
innuendo.
or-
innuendo, like
No.
So he's refusing to bend down to a dictator.
Bend the knee.
Not like that.
Innuendo? Like the euthanasia.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of
You focus on the euthanasia. Euthanasia.
Let me ask you, what's so euthanasia for Denny
Please start it from the guys.
Innuendo,
I tell you this, I have a hard time with these types, and when they say stuff
Yes.
like this,
It's
start from the beginning. Go.
confusing.
Maybe show what the...
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid.
Ooh.
And I hope you're not either. Yeah. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does.
They better raise the roof on the jail cell.
My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent.
Yeah.
So let's have a trial.
Yeah. But
Keep the faith.
Let's have a try.
Can I say one thing?
Is that Batman?
But
Who is
notice
that?
this. Notice how he's making. Nobody's kicking down his door. There's no CNN. There's no cameras. It's all nice and polite. And mind you, Pat, this is the same FBI that just admitted yesterday that they had 275 plainclothes agents walking around on January 6th. Really? What were you guys doing? And other ones actually said, like, listen, we didn't start anything, but some of us were aggressive and pushing it. Look at that. 200. What were 275 agents doing January 6th? Because there's videos of them that look like feds with a mask pack, breaking windows, breaking shit. It's like everything that we said was we were right.
You
we
are
were
so
crazy.
right, Vinny. And by the way, I'll just add one thing to you. Yeah. Remember you were always suspicious about the 40 khaki guys that would all wear the same khakis and and the masks and the flags, and they would walk down the thing and like saying angry things trying to start riots. Guess what?
Look, Tom, look at this. Like, they brought the protester. Look, give me some dap, agent. Thank you, bro. I did my job. What? Unbelievable. This is the same FBI, guys. They've been corrupt forever. And now
What is this video? What is
this?
it
This is in
showing?
January 6th, Adam. They grabbed the guy that's a protester, and then they look at it. Look at how nice they're treating this guy. Why would you let him go? Why would you let him go?
Because he's one of them, and they're fist bumping.
Exactly.
They were acting
What's that
in
saying,
their
Tom?
own play.
The chickens have come home to roost. How many times?
Damn,
you know, people say, I don't like to say I told you so. I actually do, because we told you so. Period. Told you so.
I do.
We're gonna have a new podcast called "I Told You So." First we have COVID, then we have Fauci, then we have
My
then
God.
we have January
so why don't we do
6th.
this? When we go to that and see about this next situation with James
O'Keefe.
James O'Keefe.
Shout out to James
Is
O'Keefe.
sitting at James O'Keefe, man. These guys, the way they do things, man. Let me tell you, he is. They're very good at what they do. How they get these dates and whatever places they focus on, they're phenomenal at what they do. So here's Glenn Prager, no relation to Dennis, but Glenn Prager, Jeffrey Epstein's investigator, Department of Justice, is being interviewed on September 8th, asked questions, and you have to see what he says about Clinton, Epstein, and Trump. Listen to this, folks.
It's not talked about yet, but it's soon come out that he was a CIA informant.
He was a CIA.
He wasn't a CIA. I think he's protecting a lot of other people. He's not protecting himself because there's nothing there, but he's protecting a lot of people. Because Trump's now saying it's a hoax of the case, like a hoax or something. I mean, come on, you know it's not a hoax. He's been on the plane, many times. Mm-hmm. It's just he was never on the plane with the kids.
Bingo.
I've seen the itineraries and I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on a plane with these kids and a rape occurred.
Boom.
But that can't be said for Clinton.
Wow.
It can't be said for others.
Wow.
Clintons were on the plane.
Clinton was on the plane. Wow.
Overheard at Phoenix Airport on September 8th, 2025. A senior Justice Department investigator who personally worked on the Epstein case tells all. Glenn Prager, who has reviewed Epstein itineraries and has interviewed Epstein's victims, drops a bombshell. He says that the DOJ did not want to go after Epstein because he's a CIA asset, that the evidence from his investigation confirms that Bill Clinton was present for alleged rapes on the Lolita Express, and that President Trump was not present for the rapes that Glenn Prager investigated, but that he is protecting a lot of other people that were.
How about this whole Epstein thing that's like going down?
So I worked on that case. I used to interview all the victims.
Victims.
And my picture was 20 to 30 victims, in Palm Beach that I was interviewing and dealing with and stuff like that. And then we would go ready to go to trial, and
they would flip.
They would flip. Epstein would just pay them off, and they were just like these little kids. They pay off their family. They're all broke kids.
Broke families.
So you pay them off like anywhere from $150,000 to $500,000. Nothing in that guy's world.
Prager there describes how the victims that he interviewed were paid off by Epstein right before going to trial. Prager has worked as an investigator inside the Department of Justice
21
for over
years.
20 years.
According to Prager's LinkedIn About page, it says that during the tenure at DOJ, Prager served as an inspector overseeing sensitive investigations
he's
involving
legit.
other DOJ components,
He's legit.
including the FBI, DEA, Bureau of Prisons, U.S. Marshal Service, ATF, and the U.S. Attorney's offices. This seems to corroborate what Prager told us.
He was tasked with interviewing Epstein's rape victims and investigating flight logs. On his backpack in the airport, we spotted an embroidered FBI patch, which caught the attention of our citizen journalist.
I'll tell you this, because no, it's not talked about yet, but it's soon come out that he was a CIA informant.
He was a CIA informant.
He wasn't a CIA.
Although many have suspected it to be the case, this is the first time a Department of Justice official has confirmed that Epstein worked for the CIA and is a foreign asset.
Foreign asset.
DOJ
Ready?
Was settling a case, and they were just letting him, do house arrests and they minimized his arrest. Part of that is because all the victims kept on flipping, and they didn't have anyone to go to trial with. And more importantly,
Ready? Here it comes.
Go after him. He's a asset for the United States and
Israel for the CIA. Wow.
The CIA.
Boom.
That's what it was. That's why.
There you go.
So that's intelligence,
Pause it right
Pastor.
there.
When Alex Acosta said we can't touch him because he works for intelligence, if this guy's telling the truth,
Why
CIA,
would he be lying?
Israel.
Why would he be
he?
lying?
Well, I mean, you know what they're going to say? I'm going to play devil's advocate. There's a beautiful girl. I don't know what she looks like. And he's just trying to show off. But with that type of in-depth, that type of stuff, because guess what? You can fact check. You can find out what he's been doing. Go look back. Did he talk to all these girls? If that's true and he's saying this, this has to be admissible. Like, what are you talking about, bro? And he's saying that Bill Clinton allegedly was on there when there was rapes, not sexual, just having sex on the plane. Rapes, meaning people were against their will and these girls were screaming and fighting. That's what this guy is freaking saying. So there you go.
Things are more simple than they are complicated. And if it is as simple as Epstein was an informant in intelligence, that explains the sweetheart deal.
Yeah.
That explains why nobody did anything. And that explains why there were frames missing in the Zapruder film at the moment of the jail film.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. And Rob, you have the DOJ a statement?
Yeah.
They made a statement.
No, here's what James O'Keefe texted me because he's like, please play this. We said, all right, we'll talk to Pat. Rob, I sent you an image of what James O'Keefe sent me. Do you have that yet?
Yep, give me one second.
Yeah,
okay.
Because by the way, the DOJ
so I said, James, what do you want? What do you think will happen? So this is per O'Keefe.
Did he say you can share this? Close this, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was their statement.
No, this is the DOJ. This is the Department
DOJ
of
statement.
You can go to the official DOJ statement if you want.
This is what he copy and paste the statement.
Perfect. That's all I want to show. Go ahead.
So this is the first part is the statement. This individual worked at the Department of Justice as a program analyst for over 15 years ago. He has no understanding or access to the underlying facts in this investigation. His statement should not be considered accurate. It is disgusting that someone would further exploit victims of sexual abuse by fabricating stories for their personal benefit. So this was the Department of Justice's statement, to which these are facts that our friend O'Keefe had to say. During his tenure at the DOJ, Mr. Prager served as the inspector overseeing sensitive investigations involving major DOJ components, including the FBI, DEA, Bureau of Prisons, U.S. Marshal Service, ATF, and the U.S. So who's this lying? Guy has some credibility, whereas the DOJ saying he has no credibility.
Adam,
but who do you trust?
Yeah,
who do you trust?
Thank you for the find. May I take us to a sentence, Adam? Great find here. Watch this. His statements should not be considered accurate. That is not the same as saying his statements are not accurate. This is the wordsmithing that is happening when your government speaks, folks. You got to get into the parsing. His statements should not be considered accurate. They're not telling you it's not accurate. They're saying they shouldn't be considered accurate.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't close enough. And it's terrible that he would further exploit. 1/3 of the statement is a float. Wow, it's a shame that an ex-employee would be exploiting something like this. Why don't you come out and say he wasn't on the case, this is not accurate, this is a bold-faced lie, thank you very much, because they can't say that.
Okay, so who is they?
The statement from Justice.
Who runs DOJ?
Well, whoever the Department of Justice
Who runs it?
Pam Bondi is the highest ranking, Pat. She's number one.
So let
From
me ask you,
Florida.
Tom. Let me ask you, Tom. Can a person respond like that without the permission of Pam Bondi?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay. So is that response, what percentage of that response was approved by Pam Bondi?
I gotta.
This thing
I
got
gotta
8.1 million views on X.
There's such.
How many views?
8.1 million views
I'm
on
gonna
X.
go. I'm gonna go
Okay, so it's
50-50 that it got all the way to Bondi. That this is. They have an office that responds on this really
And what
quick.
is the likelihood that this goes all the way up?
To
All
the
the way up,
president?
like maybe even talking to Cash, talking to President. What is the likelihood?
I would say with James O'Keefe's credibility, this goes all the way up with high certainty.
Okay.
Not 100%.
So for me,
but
for
O'Keefe
me,
knows these people.
guys, for me, the way I've always seen this thing with Epstein is I've always seen it as look what the president. How ice cold would you say the president is?
Pretty ice cold.
Well, give me ice cold 0 to 100.
In the sense of just not giving a damn.
Ice cold. Somebody dies, emotions.
Oh, he's
cold.
ice. I would say he's up there. Probably
What
the
score? Above 90?
Above 90.
I give him above 90
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's not the most
Is he ice cold
empathetic
Putin?
guy.
Or is he ice cold little less than Putin?
Less than Putin.
Okay.
A little bit
Fair.
less.
For sure.
So let
Nobody's
me
colder than
ask
Putin.
you, in his eyes, okay, everything that happened with these kids, that happened, okay, do you think he's happy about that?
Absolutely not.
I don't think he's happy about that. He's a grandfather, he's got kids, he's got all that other stuff. Do you think in his mind, he looks at this and says, Gates, Clinton, all these guys will be more useful to me if this doesn't leak because I can use them for the next 4 years and I can hand it over to the next person that's going to be president for 2028 election? Do you think he sits there and says, okay, honestly, let's have a very ice cold conversation, no emotion. Can we do that? To all the people that are all emotion, step this one out. Just don't listen to this conversation real quick. Okay, play solitary or something, but we'll come back to it. So, ice cold conversation and ice cold thinking.
I'm putting
I
myself
want
there.
you to do
I'm
ice
there.
cold thinking. You're
Okay.
90 and up for the next 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got you.
Vinny,
Yeah.
this is what happened.
Okay.
It
I'm
happened.
him. I'm the president.
No, you are not. I'm the president.
you're the
I'm
president.
talking to
Okay.
you. You're one of my guys on my team.
Okay.
That maybe you have a lot of conscience. You're a man of faith.
Okay.
And you're having a hard time with this.
Okay.
It happened.
Okay. Yeah.
This is exactly what happened. However, question for you.
Yes.
Who is the enemy of the states? Let me tell you what Clinton's did.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what all these guys did. All these things that we have with our investigation, they were part of this.
Yes.
We have one or two choices. Release this now to the public, and they're going to continue to be the enemy to the country, come back to us, or we hold them hostage for the rest of their lives, that they can't do anything to destroy this country. We keep that White House with our values and principles for the next 12 years and bring America back and make it the greatest country in the world again, but it's going to require us to hold some of these guys hostage. If you're an ice-cold thinker, you got the ice-cold hat on, how do you think right now?
If I'm ice cold,
Ice cold.
If I'm ice cold, that would be a great chess move to keep this positivity that we have as America going great, to keep it going. Oh, if I'm ice cold,
have to
I'm
be
like
ice cold.
I'm like, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. We have the kill switch. Basically, we're in control.
Whatever you say after here, guess what? It's totally understandable. Now flip and don't be ice cold.
Yeah. If it's not, if I'm not ice
Be
cold,
yourself.
If
Be-
I'm going to be myself, I would say, and I've said this statement before: let justice be done, though the heavens fall. We cannot be a nation, a Christian nation, and have it built on sexual blackmail of raping underage pedophile leaders of these children. Because if that's what we're built on, it's going to fall, and it's going to fall hard. but not right now. So I would say to clean house and make everything happen, regardless of the consequences, we got to expose him. This is being the Vincent Oshana, the Christian guy.
Now the question becomes,
I put him out there.
Now the question becomes, long term, what is the better move long term for
Is the
America?
cold ice. Obviously, it's the ice cold. Ice cold is for the America
do you remember,
system to keep going.
I am going to tell you something that's going to contradict my own self. Okay? And here's what it is. I think there has to be. Remember how earlier I talked about every 3 months we used to, terminate one of our agents just to make sure everybody knew we're not going to do business like this.
Yeah.
And in many of the cases, our lawyers would report to the Department of Insurance, and they would tell every carrier about you as an agent, who you are. So no one's picking you up. You're done permanently for 10 years. Yeah. So I do think there has to be to happy medium. If they're watching, this is how I would do it. The happy medium for me would be the following. What is the punishment right now for Rob? What is the punishment right now for a 40-year-old man to have sex with a 13-year-old girl, which many of these girls were, 14-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl? What is the punishment right now?
If convicted?
If convicted, what is the punishment right now?
I'm going to say 5 to 10 years.
Oh, I would hopefully it's way worse than that.
Adam, I don't
I want to see what it is.
Yeah.
I want to see what it is.
If convicted, 5 to 10. Let's see.
Because to me, there's a couple things you have to do.
Is it?
Okay. One.
It might be saying it's going to be.
One. It's by states. Okay. States choose. Federal law number or something. Use of internet to transport child porn, not coercion. The U.S. contains some. Okay, but I want to know what is the sex offense? What is it? Okay,
there it is.
law,
Up to 15 years.
Up to 15 years.
Up to 40 years imprisonment in
If it's
Pennsylvania. Rape of a child less than 13 can bring 40 years imprisonment. Many states, statutory rape or sexual assault is a felony. Prison years of several decades. And so provides like 13 years old, and then the other one's 43 months. Okay.
Yeah, the average statutory rape is 43 months. So Vinny was actually accurate.
To me, what I would do is there has to be such a level of fear. Like if there are some of these men that were doing child trafficking with young girls, 10 years old, 9 years old, 13 years old, there has to be such a massive public fear that is casted on those people to not be like, these videos, they go around, catch guys at Walmart and different places.
Oh, yeah.
And those videos go viral and their careers are over with. I think there needs to be an example made of a group of people to put the fear of death upon everybody else.
I agree.
So you got to if you're going to go this route and you're going to hold this content hostage because you have control of Bill Clinton and others, let's just say that's the case, you have to put the fear of death upon everybody on the opposite sides. They're like, let me think twice about it. Mm-hmm. Whether it's public, it has to be something where it's public humiliation. For any man who gets caught doing this, it's a form of recognition. We're gonna put your picture and publicly make sure everybody knows you did this. Like there needs to be a form of recognition. Do this again, see what happens to you. Mm-hmm. There has to be. Mm-hmm. And then because there's certain things, forgiveness is, and then on the flip side, if you're gonna go ice cold on the other guys, well then you better make a lot of progress and show us stuff like this with Comey and stuff to move forward. Because you can't do one without the other. If you choose to do neither, then you lose your base. Not all of them, but you lose 2% of your base. And 2% is a lot. And for 2028, you're going to need these guys. Because what we are learning right now, is what's important to, what is the influence kids are having on elections today? A lot. What is the influence TikTok's having on elections today?
Huge.
We just saw Charlie Kirk's memorial. How many people showed up? 100,000 people showed up. You think that's validating what 2028 election is going to be about?
Yep.
And who you need to win over? Those people are on social media and X. So if you don't do anything, they're going to keep talking. Adam.
Well, you just highlighted what I would call the paradox of what is right versus what is wrong and what should you do about it. Vina and I had a conversation probably a month ago, and I said, if you found out what you think is true, and you do the Wizard of Oz thing and you see it, and it would basically cause the government or the city to burn down. You're going to burn the whole, you said burn the whole thing. I said, then you'd be ruling a city of ashes. Is that what we're willing to do? Here's what I would say, PBD. You talk about the public humiliation. I have a different suggestion. I would almost say private humiliation. If it means burning the whole country down, I'm not in favor of that. We're being ice cold for a second. But in private, if you find out these people are guilty, you don't need a public humiliation. You need a private castration. And if this is what these dudes are doing, low key, nobody needs to know. You cut it off.
Why would you do it secretly? I wouldn't.
Because
do it
word
live.
will travel. Word will travel. You think secrets won't get out? Did you hear what they did to so and so? All these people are going to talking. If it is
cutting
certainly
their dangling off.
Yep.
Oh, or it could be a chemical castration, whatever it is.
I agree.
But
I
if they're
agree, but it
doing
should
that
be-
to children, I don't need public humiliation. I need you to cut that thing off, and everybody's going to find. Oh, bro, that to me is a more fitting crime than shaming them publicly.
I agree, but the one little caveat: no, publicly you say this person was convicted. Hide the victim, but he's convicted. This is what he did. Yeah. We're castrating him. Put the word out because, guys, you have to understand these people. It's not as if you're an alcoholic and you stop drinking and you're kind of over it and you've moved on. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not getting this disgusting pedophile out of you. Every time they see a kid, Pat, that's where they're at.
Why you
and
have
it needs
to
nip it in the bud, so to
cancer.
speak.
It's kind of a standoff, too, if you think about it. So I agree with the notion that, okay, I gotcha. You know I gotcha. And now you need to maybe not play ball, but just not be so difficult to work with. I believe that. But I also believe goes the other side that says, look, so you're gonna basically crush me. Well, on the way down, I'm gonna put some receipts up with a bunch of your guys. So you can't take this chess piece off
Dirty
without
business
me
out
knocking
there,
some
man.
off.
Dirty
And by the way,
business.
remember Nixon. Historical documents and everything are now clear. Nixon felt that the election in 1960 was stolen, that Illinois and Texas was stolen. And if you flip those back, Nixon wins the election by one electoral vote. Go the other way, Kennedy gets over 300.
JFK.
Okay. Nixon said, I'm not going to tear down the country for an election. I don't think it's good for the country. Right. And there's multiple people, Republicans and Democrats, that said there is deep respect throughout the political sphere that Nixon didn't do it because they had him. Now, you can find some protests. You can find some courts that protested things because you couldn't stop all the operatives, and some of them were really pissed off. But Nixon himself said this for the good of the country. And W supposedly also, remember how many presidents have been talking about the JFK files? Every one of them for 20 years. Yeah. So W also did not think it was good for the country about the JFK files. Now everybody's going to put in the comments, yeah, that's because Papa Bush was part of it. I don't know. But there is precedent here, Pat, where they kind of checkmate each other in private. They don't prosecute each other. And it's kind of a Mexican standoff.
But can I say one last thing, Pat? I know we want to move on. If you had to pick one name that's constantly been said about Epstein, I mean, that keeps popping up, that's been on the Express, that there's photos with him with girls, that is a high-ranking guy.
William Jefferson
It's
Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Okay, I don't care who you are and how good he was as a president and how good he was for the African American. Put that aside. His name has been implicated more than Gates, more than any of those other freaking demons. Yeah. All right. How is this guy so freaking powerful? And hold on, Adam. And like how we said with Comey has to fall. In this case, and I know it never happened. One of them, Pat. I want one of those guys that was connected to Epstein to fall. That's it.
But you know what happens?
It's never going to happen to Bill.
And all of them come down?
No, because you take one. It's like the crab theory. That guy's going to tell on everybody.
Oh.
That's how that goes. So they can't do one.
Ugh,
you do one, that guy's going to say, oh, yeah? Oh, really, Bill? Hi, William. How are you? Oh, sir, you better call Donald.
Yeah.
You bet. Hey, that's exactly what happens.
Pat, let me ask you one question. What kind of secrets do you think a president of the United States has? Internally, domestic, globally,
More
internationally?
on second term than first term.
Okay.
More on
Bill
second
Clinton
term
was
than
a
first
two-term
term.
president.
He has a lot of them.
Obama was a
He has a
two-term
lot of them.
president.
Joe Biden.
Trump
doesn't.
is
Joe Biden is like
okay.
No,
but
senior has a lot of them because he was a director of CIA. He probably has more than most two-term presidents.
So the amount of secrets that a president has, and you want to go try to throw a president in jail? I'm just saying they tried to do it with Trump.
He's going to answer to
But
God at some point.
There's a reason that you don't see former presidents going to jail for crimes or crimes against humanity.
But they talk
but listen, Lula went away. and Lula came back.
Yeah,
and
but
now
Brazil's one of
Bolsonaro
the
is
most corrupt
going-
countries in the world.
It is.
Talking about the United States of America.
I understand
here.
that, but let me tell you.
We have a high standard.
Do you think in the next, here's a good question for you. Do you think in the next 100 years a president goes to jail?
In what country?
U.S.
No, never.
In the next 500 years?
No.
You're saying never.
I'm saying highly likely that they will not go to jail in the United States.
So you think 500 years from now, America is still going to be a republic?
Yeah, because
you think 200 years from now, America is still going
if
to be a
America
republic?
falls, the whole world falls.
I know it does. What I'm saying,
I'm convinced of that.
But what I'm saying to you is, you don't think it'll eventually happen? Your argument makes sense because you do that, it's embarrassing. But at the same time, if somebody crossed the line and it's that big,
what was the whole thing recently that the presidential immunity? That was the whole thing that Trump basically solidified.
Yeah, to protect them.
President ain't going to jail.
By the way, can you show the poll, Rob, that you ran? Actually, I'm proud of the audience here. Can you go pull up the poll here? I'm really, really impressed with the audience, how reasonable they are. So remember earlier, the Comey thing was what? 95.5. He just ran a poll right now. He says, do you believe President Trump is covering for Bill Clinton? Look at that.
Oh, wow.
It's 50-50.
Wow.
50, and that's 8,500 votes. 52-48. So our audience, to give that kind of an answer after seeing what just happened, you guys are part of the reasonable community. And I applaud you. Stay like that, guys. This is good. We have a good audience. If you can stay balanced like this and we're right or wrong, we can go back and forth. I don't mind it. All right, let's go to the next story here. Next story I want to get to is in regards to Jimmy Kimmel. So Jimmy Kimmel comes out, does a show. Numbers comes out, Rob. Can you pull up and see what the numbers were on how it performed? I think it was 6+ million viewers that he had. I think it's the biggest he's either ever had, but it was a record-breaking show of the amount of viewers that he had.
I want to say 6.4, I believe.
And by the way, previous to that, he was doing 1.2, 1.4, 1.3, 6.26 million, significantly higher than his average, which is 1.4 to 1.8 million.
They should fire him every day and bring him back every day.
Fire him once a week, come back in, and one day he'll get better viewers than all the days combined.
Yeah, keep firing.
So that happened. Now, Trump comes out and threatens lawsuit over ABC for resuming with Kimmel, and his claims about this. I can't believe fake ABC News gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny, and who puts the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He is yet another arm of the DNC card. DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major legal campaign contribution. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. Okay?
Damn.
Yeah, let him rot in his bad ratings. And so that message, to me, is a slippery slope. You got to be careful with that to go to a message like, Tom, I'll come to you first. What are your thoughts about this? One, Kimmel went over 6.2 million. Two, President Trump still saying he wants to go after ABC. How do you process those two things?
I'm a little
on the fence.
On the fence on one thing. When you're president and you're going after somebody who was dishonest and bad, and what Kimmel did was, but it was one monologue on one night, and the advertisers got upset, and a lot of other people got upset. So I think you kind of let that play out as a business decision. You let it play out. You let the advertisers get upset at Disney. You get Bob Iger show leadership or not show leadership, whichever side of that argument you're on, and then you let it play out. I think it's different, Pat, to say, I so disagree with Jimmy Kimmel and his criticism of this administration. It just pisses me off because he's gaslighting America. That is different from I want the guy off the air. And when you kind of cross that line a little bit, you're kind of giving an open door to the other side on the influence. So do I think that what you said the other day, that if they want to bring things, lower the temperature and do things for late night, then maybe they should bring conservative guests on, bring a blend, and that would bring ratings? Yeah, I think that. I completely agreed with what you said the other day. You said it very, very well. You laid it out completely, and Erica Kirk. 100% agreement. But I look at this and it's like, I agree in principle with the president saying, but I think you have to be really careful about the Oval Office calling for a business decision by the network. There's a little line there.
Vinny, your thoughts?
I agree with you to a certain extent, Tom. But I get to this argument all the time with people. But he's the president. He's not presidential. Okay, let's put that aside. Can you blame this guy? Can we blame Donald J. Trump? And we all know who he is. Ego, this, New York. Can you blame him? Since the day he announced that he was going to run for president, people like him, every single one of these Democrat left-leaning arms of the DNC, because that's, by the way, there's no other explanation to be just hemorrhaging money and viewers, and you still keep paying that guy because you need to sell the propaganda, okay? Hitler, fascists, impeachments, Russia, everything. I can't even blame this guy. And it's not like he's hiding it, guys. This is who we voted for because I know exactly who he is. Even at Charlie's memorial, what'd he say? Charlie, God rest his soul, I love him. He'd be praying for his enemies. I don't. He goes, I don't like them, and I'm not with it, okay? This is why this is that guy that we're talking about, that ice cold that you were just talking about, PBD. This is him, and this is who he is. I get people are going to be happy with everything that he says. This is a little bit far-reaching, but he is furious. These are the guys, these are the type of guys with the rhetoric that these guys, the Jimmy Kimmels, the Colbert, all of them, even if it's slight dog whistles, he's the reason that everybody wants to try to go after him and shoot him in the head and Butler because it's that rhetoric. So I'm not even mad that he's upset with that. Yeah, asking for him to get off, whatever. He can say whatever the hell he wants. He's the president. He needs, they help him write these things anyway, but he gets the minor point and they help him write that out.
Yeah, well, Trump's loves picking on enemies. Michael Jordan used to always say, you have to kind of make up an enemy in your head. This is a real-life enemy for Trump. Jimmy Kimmel is not talented, but I don't think that Trump or the federal government should get involved in trying to censor people. Even Joe Rogan agrees with me. Do you see what Rogan says about that? Rogan said he rushed to the defense of Jimmy Kimmel. He said over the joke that got pulled off the air, calling it crazy. He said, first of all, do you have that clip?
Yep.
Go ahead, roll
I like how you put it. Did you say Joe Rogan agrees
Joe,
with
Joe
you,
consulted
or
with
you
me on
agree
this.
with Joe Rogan?
No, Joe agreed with me. He consults with me all the time.
Go ahead,
Everyone
Rob.
knows that.
I love the way
Sosnick, Rogan,
this whole Jimmy Kimmel
David, we know
situation
that.
Don't talk over him.
that is happening right now.
Yeah, wild.
Very wild. Okay, first of all, the FCC is you have to have a license to broadcast, which is kind of crazy when you think about what that means now. Because, what does it mean? It used to mean that you used to have a license to broadcast because you were going to influence so many people. They had to make sure that you were on the up and up, right? So they had to make sure that you didn't swear. So if you had a license and you were on CBS or NBC or ABC, you could not swear, right? That was the rule. And then on came cable. And somehow or another, cable is a different thing, right? Because cable, you just... You have to pay for it, I guess, so it's different. And so then some of the channels you don't have to pay for. It used to be the only ones that swore were like HBO, where you had to pay for. And then all of a sudden it became kind of any of them because they realized, hey, we don't, like FX, we can swear, guys. We only don't swear because we want to think of ourselves as TV.
Right.
But HBO was with The Sopranos, with HBO comedy specials, in the beginning that was a big one. You could just swear. Movies, you didn't have to bleep anything out, just wild. And so what you're dealing with even, first of all, I definitely don't think that the government should be involved ever in dictating what a comedian can or cannot say in a monologue. That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
Now, if the problem is the companies, if they're being pressured by the government, so if that's real, and if people on the right are like, yeah, go get them, oh my God, you're crazy. You're crazy for supporting this because this will be used on you. You don't think that the fucking globalist lizard people who run the world are sitting here going, great, what do we got, 3 years? We'll wait this out.
You can pause it right there.
Yeah.
So
fully agree.
let the market decide, is what you're saying. Don't try to basically institute or get involved in what
my concern is the fact that they're not going to forget this, and when they have the control, trust me, they're going to come back after you. Don't be too relaxed when you have it right now. You're like free and you can say whatever you want. This thing can change very quickly when somebody else is in the White House. Let AOC be in the White House. See what America looks like.
Oh yeah. Well, we're seeing it with Comey. Comey is the other side now. Trump in the mugshot was the first. Now we're seeing round two.
And I've just
this is the same thing.
Pull up that Trump tweet again when he said, "Let Jimmy rot in low ratings." What did he say about that?
Yeah, let him
Let
rot
Jimmy
in bad
Kimmel.
ratings.
Yeah, and that's actually what he should do, because the reality is this: Jimmy Kimmel's show was tanking, and there's something in investing called the reversion to the mean, where like it's in the like, I'll use the NBA example. Like, there's a guy that averages 10 points a game. All of a sudden he's on fire. He puts up 40. You're like, oh man, I guess RJ Barrett is an all-star. And you're like, nah. Next game he goes for 6 and 4. You're like, okay, he gets back to his average. This whole thing that he got, 6 million viewers? How many did Jimmy get?
6.4.
And he averages what?
1.4, 1.3.
Check back in 2 or 3 weeks when he's reverting to the mean of what his actual numbers show.
Oh, yeah,
it's not like people are going to start falling in love with Jimmy Kimmel all over again.
Just to clarify, I don't want the government I don't want nobody pressuring. He sucks. His ratings suck. He's not funny. Okay, say that. I'm saying the attitude of Trump, keep your attitude. They're all, in his mind, the enemy. If you want people to think that I'm this Hitler Nazi guy, and by the way, you're losing money. So here's the thing. How is a show like that in a business sense going on? Because they have to keep they're willing to lose money.
What evidence do you have that Trump dislikes his enemies?
I actually
All right, let's do this. Let's go to the next story. Next story.
I hate my enemies.
Here's what I want to go to. So a study came out recently asking Gen Z female voters who voted for Kamala what their top 20 priorities were, and then asking Gen Z male voters who voted for Trump what their top priorities were. As you go lower on this, folks, you're going to be shell-shocked, okay? Here's what I want to do before we go to it, Rob. What do you think having children, Vinny, ranked for Gen Z males who voted for Trump versus Gen Z women who voted for Kamala? Having children, what does it rank for Gen Z males?
How do you want to rank it?
Top
like
10%?
1 to
Top
10?
20.
Top
So number
20.
6, number 8, number 12, number 18.
3. Top 3.
3 for male. Okay, so both of you guys say 3.
3.
Top 3.
Tom says 3. Vinny says 3. And then, Adam, what do you want to say?
You're saying top 10 were
Men
Gen Z
who voted
males?
for Trump, where is their priority of having children in their top 20?
Oh, it's in the top 5 to 8.
Okay, pick a number, Adam.
5.
Okay, good. Now, women who voted for Kamala having children.
I'm not going to put it might not even be in the top 20.
No, it is.
Okay.
No.
I'll say 18.
It's
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead.
18. Tom,
I was gonna hedge a little bit and say 15,
Okay.
but we're in the same
Adam?
lowest
Where
quartile.
Yeah, somewhere 11, lucky 11.
Okay.
You're
All
way
right, so
off.
go to it, Rob.
Way off.
Go to it, Rob. So check this out to tell you where they're at.
Top
Okay?
20. This is
All right,
top 20.
right there. So this is Gen Z male voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Having children, number one.
Wow.
Get out of here,
Yes.
dude.
Bingo.
They're listening to Charlie
Good
Kirk, is what
for
that is.
you.
Number
Okay?
one?
Yes, number one.
I was way
Now,
off.
And
watch.
just so you know, Gen Z is what, under 30?
18 to 29 is
Okay,
what they're
gotcha.
asking here mainly. 18 to 29.
Wow.
So, by the way, Gen Z is 13 to 29, 13 to 28, but they don't vote. So they're going
Yeah.
18 to 29. So now look at female voted for Harris all the way on the left, okay?
All right, here we go.
Female, number one there says what? Having a job,
Independent.
okay? Go all the way down, Rob. No, all you have to do is just go down. No, you messed it up, Rob. Go back to.
Son of a-
Come on, Rob.
I'm done.
Give me
I'm
a
walking
break.
off the
Rob,
set.
holy
Don't
shit.
walk
walking
off.
off
There
the
it is.
Okay.
I
All
love
right,
you,
having
Rob.
children. Now go down.
can't
Watch
operate a
this.
mouse.
Ready? Not 8, 11. I'm sorry, 12.
12. I said 11,
Having
12.
children is number 12 for them. Okay? Now go up, Rob. Go up, Rob. Look at this. Let's look at both of their priorities. Male, voted for Trump. Having children, achieving financial independence, having a job or career you find fulfilling, go a little bit lower.
Wow.
Getting married, okay, go a little bit lower, Rob.
Having children is more important than
yes,
getting married.
Having enough
I'm
money,
with you guys.
Rob, a little slower so I can go. Having enough money to do the things you want to do, owning your own home, being spiritually grounded, making your family or community proud, having no debt, using your talents and resources to help others, being able to retire early, having emotional stability, fame and influence is number 13. Now go to the other side. Let's go with the women who voted for Kamala, having a job, having enough money to do what you want to do, have emotional stability, using your talents, resources, achieving financial independence, having no debt, owning your own home, making your family proud, being spiritually grounded, being able to retire early, being married, having children, fame and influence. Let's see what the male who voted for Kamala, where are they at, Rob? Go a little bit higher. That's male who voted for
They're in
Kamala.
the female
having your own
bathroom
job,
hanging out.
having enough money, using your talents, resources, having emotional stability, making your family proud, owning your own home, having no, so being married is 9. So male who voted for Kamala have children at 10. Female have at 12. How about women who voted for, okay, so right there. So Trump, go a little bit lower. So here's what it looks like, folks. Democrats, you are in trouble. Do you know why? Because your base doesn't want to have kids. and Republicans do.
There you go.
You know what that means? We're at the Vault Conference. In the middle of the event, I ask people, stand up if you got 4 kids or more. They stand up. Stand up if you got 5 kids or more. They stand up. Stand up if you guys play the clip, Rob. Here's what we did to recognize people who had a lot of kids. Go ahead.
First time in the history of America, population is declining. Childbirth rate per average woman is 1.6, lowest in the history of America. If you have to step away from the meeting right now to go have unprotected sex with your wife, I think that he's leaving right there. I respect you. Thank you. You're a good man. You are a good man right there. We have some private rooms on the back, by the way, with some nice complimentary beds. Guys, we're not making enough babies. Stand up if you have only 1 kid. Come on, it's going to get awkward very quick. Stand up if you got 4 or more kids. Here's to the rock stars in the room. Holy moly. Stand up. Be proud, right? Stand up if you got 5 or more kids. 5 or more kids. Really. Stand up if you're at 6 or more. Make some noise to the 6 community. Stand up if you got 7 or more kids.
So
Are you
impressed.
joking?
With
So
the audio?
you have 2 wives at the same time, you have 7 kids. 2 different marriages that you had. I was about to say, if you're going to say 2 wives at the same time, some people are going to come ask you questions. Anybody's at 8 kids that's still standing that I can't see you. 9? You got 9 kids? Are you joking? Come to the front if you
Jeez,
got
he
8
looks
or more
tired.
kids.
He just came back from the back room. Was that Sean Alexander?
You're doing that a lot. This is insane. Trey, how are you? You have 10 kids. You've delivered 10 kids.
Jeez.
You guys have 8 kids
Look
together.
at her. Look at how amazing
Raised
she
8
looks.
children. How about you? 8? How about yourself? 9. Okay. This guy brought 10 people on stage who had 8 or more kids and recognized them in front of everybody. Babe, we got to get to work, right? This Catholic guy's on the podcast. I said, you got 8 kids? He says, yeah. I said, at what number did it get difficult? His answer is magical. He says, after 3 kids, it's always going to feel like 3 kids. I said, tell me why. He says, because the oldest is now independent, so you're always only going to feel like you have 3 kids. I want each of them to get a $500 gift.
So, guess what? By the way, the future looks bright, guys. I'm telling you. Because, we hit the lowest birth rate in the history of America again. But guess which side's having kids? Conservatives are. Democrats are not telling people to have kids. Democrats are opening up the borders. That's their way of getting even. They're not having kids. They know they're losing. Now watch this. Sean Alexander, former Seahawks star, okay? Sean Alexander, you know what he just announced? His wife is pregnant with his 14th child.
Dude, what is
Yes.
going? That's not a family reunion. That's just one family.
That's a family. Rob, play the clip.
Beautiful family, Sean. Wow.
Oh, that's so
Oh my
wild.
gosh.
11?
So I wasn't.
14?
We're just now starting to tell people, but number 14 is in the belly.
Dude, give her a break.
Yeah, you're the first one I've told on TV. So
Congrats on that.
this live
God
show.
bless
Yeah,
them.
so we're just now starting to tell everybody. So we have had 10 girls, 3 boys. My oldest son, the 4th overall, Joseph, is a sophomore in high school, and
Gotta love it, buddy.
Let me tell you.
Gotta love him. I love it.
Sean Alexander, if you remember him playing in the NFL, greatest running back in Seattle Seahawks history, you could say he was known for putting the ball in the end zone. This guy led the NFL in touchdowns pretty much every season he was playing. He put the ball in the end zone. You need a yard, you need a goal line stand, boom, he's getting in the end zone. Look at this guy's touchdown stats. Look at that.
27 in a season. Good for you, buddy.
Boom.
Wow.
This guy's going to have as many kids as he was having touchdowns in a season.
He's better at making kids.
Pat, you have to be, because I love you, and I have to warn you. Like, some people say you can't go after Big Pharma because they'll destroy you.
Yeah.
You talking like this, you're going to have to worry about, like, Big Condom, like Magnum, Trojan. They're going to come after you because you're pro no condom. Guys, be careful.
If you're married right now, your spouse is next to you, look at each other. No, look at her.
Right now.
Look at him. Look at her. Look at him. Go close the door. Tell the kids, you guys have something to talk about. That's business dealings. Lock the doors. Make sure you put whatever you can so they can't come in. That even the hanger, when they unlock the stuff, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Get to work right now and make some noise so we can hear it. Right now.
Jesus.
Just one time scream out PBD Podcast. PBD! One time when you're at it, scream out PBD Podcast. I don't need you guys to post a video on LinkedIn or
talking,
text or any of that stuff. But go make some babies.
I heard people
go
laughing.
make
By the way,
them.
we can
Tom.
say this today, but there was a time where you couldn't really talk about even intimate making babies on TV. Ancient television history. There was a guy named Groucho Marx.
Yeah, I know.
Who used to do this little show, and people would come on there and guess a word and stuff like that. And this woman comes on. He says, "I understand you're a housewife." She goes, "Yes, I am." He says, "You have any children?" "I have 14." 14 children. Oh my! Now, why would you want 14 children? Says, "I love children." And you remember how Groucho Marx, what he always had in his hand when he was on the air?
Cigar.
A cigar. And he said, she goes, "Well, I love children." He says, "I love cigars, but I take it out once in a while."
Oh, God.
And it was, he got in horrible trouble for this, for just that at the dawn of TV. So that kind of wraps up our whole censorship and FCC and everything.
We should sell PBD podcast. Valuetainment should sell condoms, but there's no.
No, we
it's
should
just
sell
a ring.
condoms with holes
Holes
in it
everywhere. Yeah, just yeah.
Condoms and we literally put holes in the condoms that
Just
go.
go for it.
In Oxnard, California, and I'm ashamed to say I remember this, but there was in Oxnard, California, I had Filipino friends that had these like really off-color jokes they would tell about being close to the military. And it says, "My mother pokes pins." My sister sells condoms to sailors.
Yeah.
My mother pokes holes with a pin. My dad performs abortion. Man, the cash rolls in.
Oh man!
And it's like this little
cycle. Jeez.
This little. By the way, there's people that are going to go.
Having a
I've
friendly
heard that.
conversation here.
Yeah.
Well,
John,
PBD.
No, this is
Shoot.
In all seriousness,
it results in children.
Joke right there.
Pat, in all seriousness, I think I'm actually very grateful that you brought up this topic because it is really shows the divide of what's going on with young America right now. So women prioritize having abortions over having babies. Think about that for a second. What do you want to do when you grow up? Have a baby and a family?
No, I want to
Or have
kill
abortions?
Not
I
women.
want to have abortion.
Not women.
Young,
Women on the left.
liberal women,
Yes. Yes.
which most women are, by the way. So what this stat shows is that conservative young men want to find love and build families, and women are basically told to do the exact opposite and avoid them. So this is why for young people, love feels so hard to find. Because young men, was it a top 5? Was it a top 10? It was number 1 on the list, having children above even getting married. Versus liberal women are like, sign me up for an abortion
first.
That's what this is, the woke mind virus that feminism has insulated, and why you see women prioritize their career
And it was the Kamala
over
voters.
families.
Bring back, guys.
You know
Here's, can I make a recommendation? Yeah. Listen, folks. I wasn't kidding. Turn off the podcast.
Turn off the light.
Get to
slow
work.
music.
Play some Boys to Men.
Mm.
I'll make
love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you close, baby, all through the night. I'll make love
now,
to you.
I don't care if you do Boys to Men. I don't care if you do
Backstreet Boys.
River Run,
River
Runs
Dry,
Dry.
yeah.
I don't care if you do Sade. I don't care if you do,
Cherish the
69
day.
Boys. I don't care what you do
69
to the
Boys
type of stuff
and
that
the
you.
Quad City DJs.
I don't know what.
Pop that coochie doodle, bro. I want to rock. I want to rock. I want to rock. I want to rock.
Guys,
Hang on.
bring it back.
Sorry.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Actually, there's, to close this out, we found one
Get
thing.
it, Tom. Get
Peanut
it.
butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Thank you.
So, Vinny, you know what's interesting? On the survey.
Tom knew that one rap song. Peanut butter jelly time.
Even though there was
finish.
Kamala Harris had an impact on
Tom's gonna
America's
tell one of
women.
his dirty jokes
But you know what? You know what's very interesting? Kamala filled out one of these surveys. You know what was number 1 for her?
What?
Number 1, running out of ice and vodka. That was Kamala's.
That's number 1. I got it.
Okay, so that's the joke he wanted to finish with.
He was waiting for that
Cool.
one.
We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, guys, let's go to the next story. The next story I want to get into is the story about what the president did to the White House. He put up the pictures of all these presidents. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I want to spend 3 minutes on this story.
Yeah.
No more, no less. Okay, so don't give me the
Brief.
history of.
Yeah.
Look how respectful this is. He puts all these nice little
Jimmy
pictures
Carter.
of presidents. Don't you just love this? Reagan, Carter, Ford, Senior, Clinton. You got Bush, GW, you got Obama, then you got himself, and then you got
It slows down.
Biden.
Oh man.
Joseph.
By the way, he really did this.
That is brilliant. And then
Rob,
him again.
did he really do this, Rob?
Yeah, the White House did this.
Oh, man.
And he put himself on both sides.
Come on.
And by the way, do you see the one he used? I think that's the mug shot.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
hang
But it's a different picture.
not
Yeah.
Close. It's still
not,
it's the blue steel look from Zoolander. Like he's
Yes.
not playing
To
games.
put that there. By the way, you know what that means if you put that there. You know what it means if we put the autopen there? What does it really mean if you put that
That
autopen
he's
there?
coming after him.
That it's not done.
Oh, come on. Let's
That
do it,
is
please.
not done,
President
Mr.
Trump,
Vinny.
keep going.
That is not done. That means something is coming in the next few weeks if you put it
please,
up there. Because
God.
you had already forgotten about it. Think about it. We haven't talked about autopen for a couple months.
I swear to you, I was thinking about it this morning, but I'll tell you.
Vinny, I know you were thinking
I
about
was.
it. But
I really
you were
was.
thinking about it
There's a
this morning.
price for going up
because this
against
picture just
Trump.
came back up.
With Biden,
So you
yeah,
put
yeah.
it back in here. But the market had gotten away from it. So they're
Yes.
bringing it back. And they post something like this. Is this like a message?
Like the
Is this
86 in the
Is this
sand.
like an 86
It's a sand.
FAFO? You know, is this like one of
FAFO.
those things, you know?
Oh, I hope so.
Who knows? Who knows
What do you
what's going
think
to
of this,
happen?
guys? What do you think of this?
I think it's a statement and saying, hey, keep saying stuff behind my back.
And
I think the one person that he hasn't yet fully gone after that I think he is on the list, Obama's that guy. And I know they're trying to mess with him. By the way, Obama sat down with somebody. And folks, if you're an old man, brace for impact because he's trying to disrespect you.
man.
And I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. When some people do that kind of stuff. But here's Barack Obama having a conversation, making fun of old men. You know, it's not appropriate. But here's what he had to say. Go ahead, Rob.
Not nice.
Look at his leg.
You know. Also, especially young people, because it's fair to say that 80% of the world's problems involve old men hanging on and who are afraid of death
He's
and
one of them.
insignificance, and they won't let go.
Like Joe Biden?
And
Schumer.
you know, they build pyramids and they put their names on everything, and
Except for Trump did that when
He doesn't build.
Very
He doesn't build
anxious
anything.
about it.
He doesn't build anything.
No, he's not building a library. And
Trump deranged syndrome.
Who's interviewing him?
Somebody with great hair.
I thought it was Roland G. Fry. Who is Rob? Who is the interviewer?
I'll have to find out.
I
don't
would
know.
love to see a picture
how
of
much
him.
does it cost to make your hair look that
Hang
bad?
on one second. Can you see who that was,
It's
Rob?
like
Please.
it's like Vinny's old hairdo, but
No,
with
I actually
dreadlocks.
want to know who that person is because I want to know. That was fantastic. Like, who is that person?
What a
Rob?
crazy hairstyle. You see that?
Can you like research? It's imperative we know who that is.
How do you make your hair
Yeah.
like
So,
that?
but anyways, to make a
Get in a hot
statement like
tub, have
that,
somebody
right?
toss you a toaster.
Old man that wants to have relevance, that they build stuff like pyramids and put their names on it. So he's trying to call out who? He's trying to call out Trump.
100%.
Right? Yet, what do you say about what Biden did? What do you say about who is this guy, by the way?
David Olagusa.
He's a British historian.
Alosoga, my friend.
Historian, writer,
British
broadcaster.
Nigerian historian.
Well, that picture, he extremely dark with the lighting.
Yeah, the
wasn't
lighting
good,
was really
so brought
no
out the Nigerian
justice.
side of him a little too much. But
Yeah.
So, Tom, what do you think Obama is saying here? What is he trying to say?
I think he's trying to look. He's taking a shot at Trump and saying, "Old guys, put your name on everything," like all the Trump buildings. But what he didn't go to boomerang safety training. Obama didn't go to that special class because who he's really poking at, he's poking at all of the people that are in our government. My goodness, he's poking at Jerry Nadler. He's poking at Schumer. Look at this. People that hang on. And so he's trying to make this sly, veiled shot at Trump, but he ends up pointing at a lot of people in his own party and his own government, including himself a little bit. He's about to build a big old building with his name on it, an ugly one in Chicago. Everybody said,
Thank you. That's the point I want to make. You're building a big-ass building.
There are representatives from the DNC that said that they say that the Obama Library, they said, that's modern art, but says that's not gonna live up to the test of time. It's a pretty ugly building. And this is people in the DNC were saying, man, that's the library. And so I think Obama's trying to poke, trying to be sly, trying to be below the surface.
Look at that, Tom. He wants to talk about making pyramids. What the hell is that? What is that? Ugly
Well, it's not
building.
done yet. So
Guys, give it a break. It may end up being nice.
Well, guess what? There's going to be 90 shootings on the weekend right by it.
Those
Is that Chicago? Where's that at?
Is that a Porsche wrap or is that what car is that? That's a Porsche, right?
Yes, that's a
Be
Porsche.
patient. Maybe it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to get better.
I don't know. Pat.
Go ahead.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
That's what it's going to look like.
is
Your
it a
ugly
church?
ass
My
pyramid.
correction, it does look.
Is it a church or what?
A presidential library.
Oh, it's a library.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ugly as hell. Who wants to read in
Looks
that?
like
thing?
looks like a
Are those
prison.
letters, Rob? Like, is
That's
that?
what it looks like. Yes.
Can you zoom in a little bit more? You can.
That's
is
as close as I can get.
Wow. All right. Great. I mean, everybody has different tastes. Someone wants to build it like that. Your thoughts
rather
on
go to
this?
casino.
Well, there's
than
two
go to
things
that.
going on here. I'm actually not a fan of what Trump did or what Obama did. I think what Trump did with the autopen thing could be viewed as juvenile or divisive, but at the same time, Trump is a troll, trolls people. I get it. I think it's a little bit below the presidential office. However, I do support Trump. What Obama's doing, I found egregious. You know how I feel. Do not make fun of old white men. It is uncalled for. It is disgusting. And Obama needs to do better. And I'm not a fan of either of these guys' antics.
Yeah.
And what the subtle jab that certain people
Too
do
much.
sometimes, I find
Too
appalling.
much.
What do you think, Tom?
Can I be honest with you?
What do you think, Tom? He's asking you a question.
You shouldn't pick on middle-aged white guys either.
By the way, who's older, Obama or Tom?
Obama.
Nah, I think Tom's older
No.
than Obama.
I think Obama's 60s. What is Obama?
Tom's definitely cooler.
64.
And Tom is also 64.
Tom
How
looks
old-
way better than Obama. Look at Tom's
You're
hair.
65?
Look at Tom's hair. Obama
Well,
looks
you're
like he's 90.
63. So
Yeah.
you and Obama are pretty much the same age. I mean, you guys both look great. A little bit of gray, and Obama, no gray on
I'm
Tom.
sorry.
No
Tom
gray on
looks
Tom.
much better.
I
I'm
agree.
actually being serious.
Tom has no gray on the hair.
Tom
on
has
the chin,
no
though.
gray hair.
Just on his chin.
It's so
Because he talks a lot. Because words talk, numbers scream. His mouth is.
His mouth is.
Can I say?
Do you want to say anything about the story? We can move on if you have nothing to say about the story.
No,
Call
I,
it
I-
Obama here,
No,
Tom.
I said my
Call it
piece. I
Obama.
thought he
Okay,
was
go ahead,
poking.
Vinny.
I thought he was poking at Trump, and people who live in glass
No,
houses
well,
shouldn't throw
I
stones.
don't want to come to you twice. Save that
think
energy. Go ahead, Vinny.
I think, and again, with all the stuff that this guy tried to do with the spying and Trump, he has been defeated by Trump. And you know what?
That's true.
Your reign is over. The Barack Obama, yes, we can, and change. And one of the worst, to me, one of the worst presidents. Okay, you want to talk about holding on the power? This last election, one of the most devastating losses, and he had a huge part of it because they tried to wheel him out and do the whole, hey guys, if you're black, you have to vote for Kamala, and it's bullshit. And you know what I think, Pat? This is my opinion.
What's that?
Why he's so angry and he's so bitter and he has all this anger, and every time you see him with Michelle, it's like they're complete strangers. I think, and after what Larry Sinclair said about what he was doing in Illinois when he was in the state legislature, driving around, allegedly, this is a Sinclair, doing drugs, smoking crack, sleeping with men, I think, my opinion, he's a gay man that can't come out and
Stop it, Vinny.
Can I just...
I don't go there, but I'll say that
Vincent,
I'll say that in
I do.
retirement he took an
Vincent.
L last year on his influence. He took an L.
Well, of course. No, that's not what I think.
And I think he's trying to find a place for himself. More presidents should be like Jimmy Carter that said, I'm going to dedicate myself to Habitat for Humanity and doing things in community. And Jimmy Carter went and do that. Even if you didn't like
Do you
Jimmy
think
Carter
Pete
and his
Buttigieg
policies.
is straight?
No, I think he's gay. I think
Okay.
Pete Buttigieg is gay, for sure.
You think Pete is gay? Because Tucker says Pete's just acting like he's gay, but he's
No,
not
no.
gay.
Pete Buttigieg
gay.
is married.
I don't know.
And they bought a kid, and that's a whole different situation. But
Yeah.
and by the way, this is my opinion. I just feel like Obama's that guy, and I feel like he'd be a way happier person if he just came
comes out?
and be
I
like
don't
Don
think-
Lemon,
I
grab a
don't- I
mic
think
and go on the
I
streets.
think he's getting girls left and
You
right.
honestly think
Obama?
Obama
You don't
with
think that
Jennifer
Jennifer
No, I think that's all.
I think that
that's
was
all
real.
fake.
And there's a lot of people
Oh,
we've
no,
spoke
no,
to
no.
that said it
No,
was
no.
real.
Really?
Vinny,
Jennifer
let me
Aniston
tell
had
you,
a
this guy, Obama. Like, I don't know.
You don't think he's done any shady stuff in the?
I don't know if he's done any of that stuff or not. I'm not sitting here saying what he's done with that part. I'm not saying that. We went to a restaurant last night. I have to give a disclaimer when I take guys to this restaurant. You know what the restaurant's called? Meat Market. Do you know in the Army when guys would say you want to go to a
It's
club?
all dudes.
And
It
they
was
would
like
say
a-
Meat Market.
It's all dudes.
So I have to say,
it's
guys,
like a down low
this
club,
is a
right?
Yeah, it's a
regular-
meat market.
It's actually a
Pat.
very good restaurant. It's called Meat Market.
Yeah.
Now,
Come on, Pat.
You can
don't think
choose
I've
to-
ever eaten at the meat market?
I know, but what I'm saying
All
is when you go
time.
to the meat market, there is. No, that's not what it looks like. It's a restaurant.
No, it's
Rob
actually
goes
very
to-
classy.
Yeah, But
Look
no,
at the-
I think Obama's getting a lot of
There you
play.
go.
What I think
There
is
you go.
going
That's
on,
it.
Vinny, which is a different situation for me. I think I don't even know if I should say this.
Do it. I want to hear this.
I think he's bored in his marriage. I think that's what it is. And I think Obama is a higher grade man. And I'm not saying Michelle is not great for what she's done and her accolades and her capabilities, the way she communicates, the way she speaks, but Obama's a good-looking guy. Obama's aged well. He's handsome. And he's taking care of his body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has so many options. And that's what he's battling with. And I'm sure he's had so many times that he's had opportunities where, she knows about it and they're trying to find a way to make the marriage work. And I think that part, I do believe she's going through it and she's having the hardest time with it. Because even in that sit-down that they had together, it looked like he was trying to make her happy, but he was also uncomfortable. And it's as if they hadn't seen each other for a
Like
minute.
the dinner table thing, reaching across?
Not the dinner table thing.
And
no,
Pat, I'm not just
this
making
one.
stuff up. With the letters that he wrote to his girlfriend talking about fantasizing over men, these aren't. I'm not. But just to say,
No,
it's
I'm,
my
I'm
opinion.
with Pat right
but
here.
I have.
He
Tom,
may have done that back in college. He did. I agree.
Yeah. And
But
Larry
I'm
Sinclair,
with Pat right
I'm
now.
not coming out of the blue just saying that.
Look at him.
Who phones
No,
their
just
leg?
look at him
Look
here.
at that leg. It's almost
but
another person's leg.
Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I'm not taking away from him being
What
a
I'm
good-looking
saying
dude.
is he's got
a-
options. Am I saying like in back in the days he had, I don't know, like maybe fencing. Certain sports like it's different for. I don't
he
know.
might be a fence in college.
I don't
He
know.
might have fenced in college.
I never
Right.
played lacrosse.
Yeah.
I never did fencing. We never did
Tummy
sword fighting.
sticks.
Any of this stuff.
Yeah,
But all I'm saying in this situation,
Yeah.
he is a good-looking guy with a lot of options, and a lot of those people. Because think about it. Imagine you're a Hollywood superstar actress.
Okay.
Who is trying to get even with your ex, and your ex is a guy named Brad.
Yeah.
You have to go above somebody for him to be
Of course.
jealous and say,
Punching
oh,
up,
shit.
punch up.
This is punching up. This is as up as it gets. Barack Obama. So I think that's the challenge that he's dealing with. Anyway, let's go to the next story here. Next story here. Next story I want to get to is Mamdani in New York. Mamdani in New York, with what's going on over there. So Zohran Mamdani, his lead, is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The dominant lead in the latest New York City Mayoral poll shows that even more bad news for the rivals. Okay, so more bad news for the rivals. Now, what does that mean? More bad news for the rivals. Let's read through some of these things here. Mamdani holds a dominant 20-point lead in the race, bolstered by majority support from Black, Latino, and Asian voters, according to a new poll released Tuesday. Mamdani's leads independent candidate and former Governor Cuomo 45-25, bam, 20-point lead. On Curtis Sliwa, he trails by 9%. He's at 9%. And then Adams is at 8%. It's just not looking good, the way it's going right now. And Mamdani building support among Black and Hispanic voters since his huge victory in June. Democratic Party surged over Cuomo with a slew of other candidates. Mamdani now leads Cuomo better than 2-1. And some 53% of Black voters support Mamdani compared to 21% of Cuomo and 10% of Adams. Black voters are choosing Mamdani over Adams, and Adams is Black. Okay? So we're not talking like a Sammy Sosa situation here. Even though Mamdani is not Black, they're supporting him more. And Adams, who was he was there in New York, he was a cop. They're not supporting him. They're going for Mamdani. And on top of this, Sliwa had a few things to say. And Adams came out, and Adams' campaign disappearing act his fifth day as insiders wonder if he's quiet quitting New York City mayoral race, and he's going to be stepping away. And a lot of people are saying this guy's going to be stepping away. And then Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate, comes out and says the following here. He said he was offered money to quit. Go ahead, Rob.
Have you seen Eric Adams? We're 40 days out of a campaign, and he has been invisible on the campaign trail. So I'm sure he's in the process of trying to figure out if the price is right for him to drop out. In reference to myself, these overtures were made by people that I've known over the years. They're obviously Cuomo supporters, and they offered millions of dollars for me to basically not run the campaign, to drop out.
Okay, so I guess the question becomes the following. Tom, you're pretty good at these types of things. Who drops out first? Who drops out second? And with a week out of November 4th election, which I think is November 4th, for probably the most important mayoral race New York City has seen in a long time, maybe ever, who do you think will be the final two candidates a week out of November 4th election?
A week out of November 4th, it'll be Curtis Sliwa and Mamdani.
You think Cuomo's going to drop out?
No. Excuse me. I think Cuomo's in. You're talking about the two majors. Cuomo's the independent, right?
So Cuomo's going to be in, Sliwa's going to be in, Mamdani's going to be in.
Right. 2 weeks, actually only about a week and a half before the horrible tragedy with Charlie Kirk, the assassination, what were we talking about? Eric Adams had met with the president. The president was reaching out to Eric Adams. The president was trying to broker something. And if you look at Eric Adams 8 on Cuomo's 27 is still only 35. If it is true that among all voters that in a 4-horse race, Mamdani is sitting on 45, the rest of the table has to sweep with no breakage. Remember we talked about the independents on Bobby Kennedy, that 1 in 5 would actually go Biden. So you only ended up net 3. Remember, Pat?
Yeah.
5 for Bobby, 1 for Biden. So that means 1 for Trump cancels. So he only got 3, net 3 for Trump. This is the same kind of math you go here that I've been staring at. And the part of me, there's 2 things that that shock me. Trump won with the independent voters. Go to the bottom of the first column.
I know.
26% of the independent voters are going with Mamdani.
You know what's shocking on that as well, Tom?
That's the problem.
Oh, my God.
That is
not
the
wrong.
problem.
Independent voters, 26-23 lead over Cuomo, but that means Cuomo could beat him. But you know what's a shocking one for me? 27% of New York City Jewish voters
I
want
swear to you, I
Mamdani.
was looking at that. How?
27% of Jewish voters want Mamdani. And the only other community they're okay with is Cuomo. Look at the Republicans. 6% of Republicans want Mamdani. Okay, Tom, go look at the very liberal voters. What percentage of very liberal voters want Sliwa? Zero. How about Adams? 2%. But 6% of Republicans want Mamdani in New York?
Right.
Listen.
Those are New York Republicans, right?
I said this at Jubilee. Let's get Mamdani and see what happens.
It's gonna.
Let's get Mamdani.
The
and see
odds
what
are
happens.
he's going to, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
think
at this point, the one thing said that if Sliwa and Adams dropped out, Cuomo could beat Mamdani.
I think so.
But who knows if that's going to happen? Go ahead.
And then I just want to make one point out. Like, and Sliwa, I think he has good intentions, and I wish he was better. But you know what it is? It's the beret. You cannot be wearing a red beret, and people are going to take you seriously. You're not a French chef.
Well, you know why he's doing it.
Is the
No,
Hells
he can't,
Angels.
no. But listen, you're not.
Right?
If he was wearing a Yankee fitted, I guarantee you the percentage would be up.
Do you know why he's doing it?
Bina.
Go ahead, Tom.
Because earlier in his life, he formed a group called the Guardian Angels, which were
Guardian
independent community protection squad.
Yes.
That when New York had such terrible crime. And you'll find pictures of him much, much younger with a whole tribe of people of all races.
Yes.
They were actually trying to come together, multiple races, to make communities safer at night.
Yeah.
It was legit. That sometimes they were armed. A lot of times they just had their red jackets and they had maybe a club or mace, and they didn't carry guns. So he's trying to remind people,
but it's not working.
I was once for New York and here.
but-
I agree with you, but that's the whole point.
No, I get. No, and I knew something about that. But what I'm saying is, bro, as a look, they want somebody that they could look at and be like, okay, this person's is political and whatever. It's not going to sell.
This was the community watch.
Oh,
in a
God bless
busy
him for
city.
what he
Do you
did.
know this moment right here, what just happened? Do you know what this means with this moment watching what just happened? You have to explain to Vinny why he's wearing a red beret. That means he has to explain to young voters
Thank
because
you.
young voters don't know why he's wearing that red beret.
Great point.
Exactly.
You know, like maybe he's thinking like, am I trying to connect with like Tim Pool audience? I don't know what he's doing. But to the average person, you don't know what's going on.
No, you're absolutely
The
right.
younger audience needs an explanation.
And I don't hear him. If you look at his stump speeches and stuff.
I'm not trying to be funny. I
no,
want
I'm
to
not
know
trying to
what-
be funny either.
I thought you were at
Where is
one
he out
point.
there that says, listen, we're coming to a dangerous New York. If this guy's elected, you're going to have a more dangerous New York. I grew up in the city. I formed a community watch group. And it says, You know, this red beret harkens back to a time where I, without a weapon, walked the streets of New York with my compatriots, trying to keep the streets safe at night.
Yeah.
And says, and I want that same New York in the future. You just got to pull to the emotion of people to remember what it was.
Yeah. I agree, but at the same time, I think at this point, Adam, let's give the final thoughts before we move to the next.
Got to run the table now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to give a preemptive congratulations to the new mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani. Mr. Mayor, thank you for coming. What's going to unfold in the next 40 days is that Curtis Sliwa, who's at 1%, him and the Red Beret, they'll be gone. Respect to you. Boom, boom, boom. Then Eric Adams, who's now trending at somewhere below 1%. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your service. You're gone. Cuomo, who's somewhere at 10% in the odds. Sir, thank you for all your efforts you've done to make New York the state it is, but it's Mayor Mamdani's time. New York City, which was once the heart of capitalism in this country, is now the new home to progressive Islamist communism. Congratulations, New York City. I hope you get what you pay for. Now, here's the second point. You know, sometimes I'm actually anti-Semitic as well. Now, you might be saying, what do you mean?
You self-hating Jewish person, Adam?
Bingo.
You self-hating.
Some of the
Let him go. I know what he's going to say.
Some of the worst people out there are the super liberal, progressive Jewish people. And this is from a moderate, somewhat conservative Jewish guy. I'm anti-Semitic against those mother suckers. I'm talking about the Bernie Sanders of the world, the George Soroses of the world. I wouldn't even say he's Jewish. I don't know if he's the devil, but they're certainly in touch. And Chuck Schumer's of the world. These people do not represent Judaism. They don't represent Israel. They represent themselves. Mm-hmm. It's much like when you see a Christian pastor who's talking about let's be inclusive and tolerant of the LGBT community. And then you have people being like, yeah, I don't know if that's what we need to be sending the messages in church. I don't know. The point is this. Certain people need to be called out. And if, 40%, 27% of Jewish voters in New York are the ones voting for Mamdani? Hi, guys. Have a great life. Peace out.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a
very interesting.
It is going to be a very, very interesting move in New York as they're going through this process. But all right, let's get to the next story here. Next story I want to get to is Rob. Which one is the story that I wanted to cover that we haven't gone through yet? There was one story that I wanted to get to. Boom, boom, boom. Which one is it?
Some
boom,
business.
Boom. No, let me see which one it was. Oh,
not business.
Newsom talks about 2028 election won't be happening. So, Rob, if you want to go to this one here, and Tom, I'm going to go to the lithium story next, so be ready for the lithium one. Newsom fears Trump will cancel 2028 election to stay in power. Rob, can you please play this clip? And by the way, I think his hair got grayer, and it looks better on him. Let me just start off with a compliment. Gavin, if you say we never compliment you, and then after the compliment comes something else that has to do with
If you ever want to pay Gavin a compliment,
go ahead.
Say he's got great hair.
Job.
Go ahead.
And then you run out of compliments.
Go ahead, Rob.
I fear that we will not have an election in 2028. I really mean that. And the core of my soul, unless we wake up to the code red, what's happening in this country, and we wake up soberly to how serious this moment is.
Look at the applause, bro. Look at the
wake up soberly. So,
well,
Vinny, he starts first with the finger, and then boom.
He does
takes the trigger.
Yeah,
watch what happens to that finger. Go do it again.
I fear.
Watch what happens to the finger. Boom. Pull the trigger.
Shooting guns.
Do it again, Rob.
2028.
Do it again.
Great call.
I fear.
Trigger. Pull it.
We will not
he pulled it. Okay.
have
Pause it.
an election.
Look, here's what I will tell you. You fear you're not going to have an election in 2028. Gavin, you know you don't believe that. Okay. But let me tell you something here. There's annual conventions that happens in Vegas. That is for the adult entertainment business. What is it called? It's called the I don't know what
what's it called?
Tom, what is it called?
AV.
What is it, Tom?
Rob knows of all people. Pat.
What is it called, Rob? AV Awards?
The AVN Awards.
AVN Awards. What's it called? AVN Awards,
okay.
right? Whatever it's called. Rob,
Tom,
please don't pull up pictures.
Vegas,
we're not
baby.
doing what you did last time. Last time I asked Rob to go to a website.
People's
It was a
feet were
bad
behind their heads.
situation.
Yeah.
So I do believe if you had to give the biggest fear porn star of the year award, I think it's Gavin Newsom. I really do. And by the way, I think can somebody make a picture on the back and send it to me so I can post it? Hey, whoever the design team that knows how to make
Danny
these memes and
in the
send
back?
it to me. Send it to me. I'll pick one and I want to post it. I think And Rob, if we can do it right now, because I want the audience to get behind it, we should recognize him.
The Fear Porn Award
needs to
a
be
year.
The AVN Fear Porn Star Award of the year, Gavin Newsom. And I want to post it.
Does he get a lifetime?
Because I think this guy deserves a lifetime achievement medal for this. I think the amount of fear porn this man has spewed out gets a credit. I don't know what the prop is when they give it. I don't even want to imagine what the prop is.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But whatever the prop is, when you spew out stuff like this, Tom, the question becomes the following. Is he doing it on purpose? Does he know it's not true that there's going to be an election in 2028? What is his outcome of this? Is it just like more people talking about him? Is that all it is? What do you think it is?
I think that's exactly what it is. And I think what they do very strategically, and I'm not going to turn this into a joke, they pick their spots. They want to put him, two things. I want him in a spotlight, and I want an outrageous statement to be made. We were just talking about freedom of speech. Great. You know what we could do? Hey, maybe we won't have an election next year. Send me out. Send me the talk shows. I am worried that we will not have an election in 2028. So, and it's a bombastic way to get in front of the cameras and to point at that crazy authoritarian that's on message with DNC. Yep. Authoritarian is going to do this. And in this case, he's got nothing to talk about on policy. He's got no wins in California to talk about on anything. There hasn't been any economic stats that somebody else came out on that he could take credit for. So he's just out there with his team inverting a headline so he can go out there and put himself in the spotlight and poke at it. I think it's that simple, Pat. It's strategic.
I'm with you.
By a guy.
Strategery.
And by the way, I respect the machine he's got, and the Republicans and everybody else better be ready to deal with this machine in 2028.
No, I agree. Adam, your thoughts?
Well, I can just see Gavin Newsom accepting the award. They're like, please welcome the winner of the Gaslighting the Public Award, the Fear Porn Award, the biggest hypocrisy user in the world, manipulating the media, confusing words, flip-flopping, the greatest hair. The Fear Porn Award goes to Gavin Newsom. Come up and get your award here, buddy. He knows that Trump isn't running again in 2028. Trump has actually said that. You want me to gaslight? I'm a gaslight. I hope Trump wins in 2028. I'm rooting for Trump to run in 2028, and I hope that Gavin Newsom is a Democratic nominee. And I hope in Florida it comes down to a very close election, just like it did in the closest election of our lifetime, Tom, which was Bush versus Gore, not Trump versus Kamala Harris, Miss ex-former vice president. And I hope that it comes down to the final vote, the hanging Chad. And if I had that vote, I would vote for Trump every single time, and Gavin would lose.
I think,
and Trump would be president for a third time.
And I don't say this lightly. I have my opinions. I truly think this guy is a sociopath. I saw this whole thing, Pat. The audience cheering and going crazy. I mean, he's still, like you said, he is very good. You have to give credit where credit is due. He believes in his madness. And let's just really fast. California, because this is what this is going to be. And I've said this before, even with what's his face that was here, Sam Cedar. California, #1 in homelessness, #1 in poverty, #1 in retail crime, #1 in gas prices, #1 in illiteracy, #1 in a wage stagnation, frivolous lawsuits, restrictions on workers. Guys, in gas tax, I could keep, besides your gaslighting.
None of that matters.
No, I know, Adam, it's all about, but
none of that matters. It's all about your feelings.
And you want to see, and Robbie, can you put this on the speed of 1.75? Pat, just to show you how he's doing, it's a script. What he's doing right now, he's on the script tour of the Fear Porn Awards. Yeah, Rob, you put it fast?
Yep.
Guys, tell me, look at this. Look at what he's doing.
He's weakness masquerading as strength. Donald Trump is weakness masquerading as strength. Scared to death about not just these authoritarian tendencies, but these authoritarian actions. These are not just authoritarian tendencies. These are authoritarian actions. You think I'm exaggerating, being hyperbolic? We're being hyperbolic. He never sent the military overseas. He sent the military to the United States of America. He sent 700 active duty members of the Marines. He sent the United States Marines, not overseas, but to an American city, 700 active duty Marines. You have the largest private police force in the world. It is the largest private domestic army of its type, police force anywhere in the world. And increasingly is showing a tendency not to swear an oath to the Constitution, but to the President of the United States, and increasingly appear to be swearing an oath of office to him, not the Constitution of the United States.
This is him campaigning For
He has his
2028,
talking
guys.
points, but what
Don't
I
get
want to
it
say is
twisted.
with what he says, because I want to give you an example of the fear porn. Okay, we just had the Dallas sniper shooter, okay, right, with Joshua John Pat, right? All the stuff that he was talking about ICE and bullets about ICE and all this negative crap. Attacks on ICE are up 800% this year. August, Karen Bass bragged about tracking ICE agents. This kid had an app that was tracking ICE agents, and this is all coming from people like this. Gavin Newsom has blood on his hands. Did you see, Rob? Did you see what he was saying?
I have it.
Can you show what he was saying? This is just weeks ago. He did this
By the way,
twice.
Joshua John is the same guy that played 17,500 hours of violent video games. And he's the guy that tried to kill ICE agents, but he ended up killing who, Rob?
He killed one migrant that was being detained at the facility and then injured two others. And just so you know,
Get
this
outta
video
here.
is not from last week. It's actually from the day before the shooting.
This is the day before the shooting. Go ahead.
In the United States of America, masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process, no oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today. People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? Bull, we're being hyperbolic. If you're a black and brown community, it's here in this country. And so,
Pause.
Can I say one thing? Gavin, where were you when these illegals that you were worrying about were raping and killing American women? None of them ever said one thing. One thing. And then the day after this guy, by the way, and this is a week ago when he said, hey, ICE, take off your mask. What are you afraid of? You know what they're afraid of? Getting sniped. You porn award.
Fear porn.
despise
Fear
that guy.
porn.
By
Fear
the way,
porn.
3,000 votes, 60-something% say it's going to be Gavin Newsom 2028 election.
60 how much?
63%.
He's got
Our
all
audience.
the right moves.
Our audience.
Oh,
Okay?
I
Our
agree with the
audience.
63%.
All right, let me get to the next story and we'll wrap up. So what was I say I was going to go?
Lithium?
We'll do a couple stories. We'll do lithium and we'll go to this one. Owner of Radio Shack, Pier 1 Imports, and other brands accused by SEC of operating a $112 million Ponzi scheme. Okay? This is not a good look, but we don't know if it's 100% true or not. Let me just read this. Rob, can you pull up the story, please? Can you pull up the story? So a pair of e-commerce entrepreneurs who bought bankrupt retail giants, including Pier 1 Imports, Radio Shack, Model Sporting Goods, have been accused of running a $112 million scheme. According to a new lawsuit, the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission accused Alex and Tai Lopez, founder members of Miami-based retail e-commerce venture, by duping investors out of $112 million. According to the federal Southern District of Florida filing obtained by the Post, Mayer and Lopez were known for snatching up struggling brick-and-mortar brands and attempting to rebrand them as online shops. Their business portfolios also includes Dress Barn, Model Sporting Goods, and Steinmart, the suit as well. Mayer, an Iranian-born immigrant who worked in risky and safety management at NASA's Safe Exploration missions, teams up with Lopez at the height of the retail carnage in 2019 when nearly 10,000 stores went out of business. The Post previously reported Lopez also showed me some influence on in book 67 on how to mention. Okay. All right. So what do we know about the story, Tom? What do we know about the story? Because I think what they were trying to do is Tai knows how to use traffic to a website. So he wanted to convert Radio Shack and all these things to sell the products through the internet. And so they picked them up. What happened next, Tom?
Well, apparently what he and his business partner did is says, hey, these are great brands. People remember Pier 1 Imports. It used to almost be kind of a combination of IKEA and, restoration hardware. You could buy all these things at Pier 1 Imports, decorate your house and all stuff like that. And so these brands, and Radio Shack, you used to go there to get Dish, you used to go there to get computers.
You worked with Radio Shack many years ago when you were doing Sprint, right? You guys were doing your phone.
Absolutely. Radio Shack had what was called the store within a store. So one wall of Radio Shack was Sprint, and Sprint had put this wall together in partnership with Radio Shack for Sprint PCS, and they cranked out volume, and they were in all these small cities. They had kiosks, they had all these things going on. So once upon a time, these brands meant something to Americans, and they apparently, the SEC is saying, here's what you did. You took these two brands, you tried to get people to invest, and you were using those, and investors, according to the SEC, that there's a complaint that's going to come down about what they say it ended up being a $112 million Ponzi scheme. If this is what has happened, that means that Mayer and Lopez basically got people to invest in this, and it didn't go that way. And now investors lost their money, or it was later when they say Ponzi scheme, it's like, that means early investors got interest payments or returns based on later investors. And it's like, you're the first investor and I'm the number 50th. I give them a check for $10,000 and they give you $2,000 and hey, here's $2,000 of your profit. Oh my gosh, that's working really good. And that's the Ponzi scheme nature of it. So this is bad. And this is coming down when the US SEC says that they're are accusing them. We're waiting to see what the indictment looks like, but this is never good. And when you've got people, Pat, you remember these guys? He had this program he would sell, 67 steps.
Yeah, of course.
Every now and then you'd see people saying, hey, I got out of alcoholism. I started a small business. 67 steps really helped me. I like that. That's a great story. And if on the other side of this, if this indictment comes down and then these guys are guilty, that's really sad. But right now, I think we got to let the SEC do its work. But a headline that's got your name in it, an SEC, an accusation, and $112 million in Ponzi is never a good thing.
Yeah, this is not a good look for Tai Lopez. I hope it's not true. Say it and so. We all remember Tai Lopez, one of the first OG influencers in the game. We remember him with his phone in the garage before selfies were even a thing, with the Ferrari in the garage with the books. I hope this is not true. Now, a lot of people are going to probably do content about this. There's going to be a rush to judgment. Let's just remember, in America, you're innocent until proven guilty. He'll have his day apparently in court. But I hope, for Tai's sake, that he wouldn't do something like this. But this is why, Pat always says, you never know. You got to play the long game with certain people. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
what do you think, PBD?
I hope nothing happens to these guys. At one point, his content did inspire a lot of young guys, and I think Alex Mayer actually built a real business.
There's like a book business, something like that?
No, not the book business. Alex actually built something that somebody bought.
Yeah.
And what was the business that he built, Rob? Can you pull it up? It was a date. I'm trying to see if it was a dating site or Zeus. There it is, Zeus. So go up to that one.
Zeus?
Zeus.
Oh, Zeus.
He's the founder of Zeus. Yeah, so what did Zeus sell for? Can you pull up what Zeus sold for? What did Zeus sell for? Yeah, that's his company. It was acquired for $255 million. So this is a real entrepreneur. It's not like they're not. Now, what happens here? I hope nothing happens as they go through this. And who knows? Sometimes on the way you make enemies and people come after you. I hope this is a story that comes and leaves and they're fine and they continue growing their businesses. All right. Rob, in regards to a couple new findings with the Charlie Kirk shooting, Vinny, there's a few things that are very weird on what's been shown the last couple days, okay? And I don't know which angle to go with right now. Let's start off with, Rob, if you want to pull the clips of when the shooting happens, there's now potentially they're looking at how many different shooters, Tom? What is
they're looking at? Right now, there's three scenarios. That Tyler from the roof.
Yes.
But that doesn't look like an exit wound. That doesn't look like an entry wound. That looks like an exit wound.
Right.
And then shooter on top of the adjacent
to his right,
building,
the audience left.
Correct.
Yes.
Up behind some shrub or some item up on the roof.
That needs to be looked into.
And then people are also looking at the way the shirt moves and the way his microphone moves and the way the earpiece flipped out and the necklace flipped out. Was there actually, believe it or not, this is the third theory,
mechanism on the mic.
There was something on the mic.
Yes.
And all I'll say is that every day that goes by when you look at all this video, it looks less and less and less and less and less possible that it was a single shot from a 30-06 by Tyler.
And
from
on top of that, a couple things, Vinny. Maybe you want to break that down on the digging and guy kid takes a chip, puts it in a hat, put it on. Maybe walk through that part.
And by the way, there was, and just to go back, I don't want to say definitively, but there was a kid who was there and witnessed everything that's trying to give his account, and as he's saying it, he's grabbed and silenced, and he's yelling, Get the hell off me. Get off me. He was being silenced because he was giving his account. I don't know if it was Andrew that went up to him, but it looked like him from the side. I don't know. I'm just saying it might have been when it's aftermath when the kid's describing the situation. But if that's the case and Charlie was hit here and the bullet came out there, I don't know if it was that day or the very next day, they were basically doing construction and digging up that entire area and putting like concrete things and slabs down, which is unheard of, okay? Because people are now insinuating, well, wait a minute. If he was shot here and the bullet went in there, you guys are digging up where the actual round is because we haven't heard about an autopsy. I know they're doing toxicology, but look at this. This is where Charlie was shot. What are they really that fast after? You guys are digging up and doing a bunch of stuff. And then with the individual that they're talking about.
It's like the garden hose on the roof in
when they shot on Butler. Guys, so a murder, an assassination just happened. I don't care if you work for Turning Point. I don't give a damn what anybody's story is. Nothing is to be touched. That camera that was behind Charlie, that is now evidence. The chair that you moved and you stand on, you just contaminated the crime scene. Okay? Leave it alone. Where the hell was security? Where the hell was somebody to keep the integrity of the scene? And then there's footage of the guy going back there, putting his hands on everything, taking out the SD card, and turning. And when it goes behind there, Rob, he gives it to that guy. Like, it doesn't look shady at all. And then, Rob, do they actually follow him when he goes behind? Keep it going. Keep it going. Let me see if this is the actual one, because the one that I saw, he takes it out, gives it to a guy, and it looks like look at this, puts it in a hat, and then puts his hat on. And I know everybody's going to say, well, he works for Turning Point, and I don't care who he works for. Why are you touching stuff? Why are you touching that? I have another angle, Rob. I'll send it to you about him, but it's not adding up. And then, Pat, do you mind me bringing up the Nicolas Cage Snake Eyes thing that happened?
Go for it.
So for all you guys, all the older people out there was a movie in 1998 called Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen this. In the movie, they're at a boxing match. A politician is assassinated in the movie, and his name is Charles Kirkland. Okay, think about Charlie Kirk. This is very, very weird. Okay, he was shot on the left side of his neck. The film takes place on September 10th. Rob, that's the
date of the fight.
No,
this is what we were talking about yesterday.
This is what we were talking about yesterday. Rob, that's the poster. And then the boxer who's in on the plan, who's doing a diversion, he wakes up on the ring. His name is Tyler, like Tyler Robinson, and he's called the Executioner. Okay, Jesus. Weird. And then the tropical storm that hits in the film is called Hurricane Jezebel. And for some of you guys that saw Megan Kelly just did a piece. That's the name of the online magazine that allegedly hired witches in August to put a hex on Charlie. And the film, parts of the film were filmed at the Trump Taj Mahal and Hotel Casino. And the secret camera, which films the assassination, but the videographer doesn't let anyone know. And guess what the tagline is of the movie? Rob, can you go to the... this is just a random occurrence. Go to my, I think I sent it to you. I actually sent the photo. Wait, look at this. Look at the tagline. Believe everything except your eyes. That's the tagline. Like, that's just a random occurrence, but I just wanted people to know because that's what, Pat, the official narrative that they're telling us, I don't think it's official. I don't believe it.
By the way, that's the problem with hiding stuff today. You can't do it.
Thank you.
You can't do it today. You got 3,500 phones that recorded things. You think you're going to be able to get away with it this time around? You're not going to be able to get away with it this time around. People are going to have to find. And by the way, Kash Patel has the opportunity this time around to increase the faith in the FBI in ways we've not seen before if he does a couple things.
Yep.
And this is one of them, especially right now with what happened. Whether they'll get to the bottom of it or not, I don't know. Adam, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think we're all asking the right questions that need to be asked. And again, ask questions. Don't come up with your own conclusions. I see what's going on the internet. Everybody's a crime scene investigator at this point. Everybody's an investigative journalist. Everybody's a forensic analyst. Form your opinions. Ask questions. Don't state conclusions. You know, with the Snake Eyes thing, this is certainly eerie. You know, they say, does life imitate art? Does art imitate life? It's certainly eerie. I'm not saying this movie with Nicolas Cage from 1998 has anything to do with the murder of Charlie Kirk. What I'm seeing out there that is actually very upsetting is now they're questioning Erica Kirk's involvement in Charlie's assassination.
That's just crazy. That's just crazy.
I agree with you, but do you not see what's going on? I've seen it as far-fetched as It was an inside job. Someone on the Turning Point team to the point where Erica Kirk, it was a setup. She married Charlie because it was a setup from a foreign agency, whatever it may be. Save the crocodile tears. You weren't really crying. So there's allegations that Erica Kirk had him assassinated so she could take over Turning Point. Guys,
I mean, yeah. No,
let's live in reality for a second. Ask all these crazy questions. Don't draw conclusions, because at some point there's a grieving widow who's like, oh my God, they're using my husband's assassination for views and clicks and fodder, and it tends to be somewhat disastrous for her.
Yeah, I don't believe, like, Adam, with every situation, there's going to be crazy, but you know who I believe? Marine and Army snipers who are professionals at this. That's all they know, saying this is not how it happened. This is not what it looks like. Tyler Robinson still hasn't admitted to doing it. His furry boyfriend is missing now, okay? And Rob, where's the video of George Zinn? And I don't care. Guys, I'm going to sit on this. This is one of the major pieces of evidence that everybody's kind of dished it off because they found child porn on his phone. George Zinn, immediately, look at this, guys. The moment it happens, look, Charlie's been shot. Look at the middle of your screen. He stands up right there. He almost falls, and he's right in the middle. He's waving his hat. Immediately, people are running. What the hell happened? Somebody's been shot. Look at him. Look at him. He knows what was happening. Yeah. Let's stop playing games. Why?
How long does this video go for?
No, that's it, Adam.
It's very weird.
No, it's very weird, but hear me out. Just because
How long was this after the actual
Adam, it just was shot. He's just shot. Look at everybody starting to react. Watch this. Watch. Now, boom, boom, Charlie's been shot. People don't know what's happening.
Well, no,
they're starting to run.
Before that, because they're on the ground, right?
No, right now, he's just been shot. This guy knows in an improv moment, I'm going to try to help this shooter that I had no idea what was going to happen, and he does that. That guy is in on it. That guy knows what was going to happen, and the fact that they're brushing him off because he had child porn.
Did they have him in custody right now?
Adam, he's been arrested, but if he bailed himself out, he's probably out.
They know where to find him.
No, they know where to find him.
Tyler Robinson's in jail. And where's the Tyler Twiggs kid?
The boyfriend vanished. He disappeared. I don't even know.
Allegedly. Let's find out where this guy is. He can't just be running. Is he on the run? What do you mean?
Adam, you have a computer in front of you? Look it up. He vanished. He disappeared.
Well, there's an article here.
Nobody knows where he is. So what I'm saying,
the trans boyfriend of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin fled their former love nest.
Yeah,
he fled their love nest.
Yeah, their furry, hairy, whatever the hell you want to call it. Their trans furry
And the
nest.
locals say they never want to see him again.
Yeah,
he was led away for questioning when police swooped in.
Yeah.
To their 3-bed condo they shared. Shaken neighbors say the part-time plumber has not been back.
That kid's a plumber?
Part-time.
Okay. Yeah. I know what he's
one
plumbing.
declaring good riddance. I never want to see either of them again.
Guess what? Don't be surprised Adam, don't be surprised.
I don't know if he fled.
Adam,
I think this is the Daily Mail gaslighting us. He moved.
Adam, don't be surprised if you never hear from him again or he winds up gone. Like he winds up dead.
If the FBI has or the police of Utah want to have any credibility, you're going to know exactly where this kid is at all times.
Well, where is he? Well, I want to know where he is.
I guarantee
it's just
you they know
very
where
shady.
he is, dude.
And I think, like I said last time, Pat, George Zinn is such a key element because from his behavior and the way that he's doing it, they're trying to make us look away because of the child porn, which is horrible. But that guy knew what was going to happen. If you're a sane person, Adam, that guy, there's no way. Put yourself in this situation, Pat. You're watching, by the way, you've been at 9/11, you saw the towers hit, you were involved with this whole Boston bombing thing. You just happened to be a 1 in 2 billion chance sitting there and you're watching Charlie Kirk speak, and the moment a bullet hits him in the throat, you stand up and you go, look at me. Yeah. Give me a freaking break.
He's obviously
You're
mentally
in on it,
unstable.
bro. No. He's the key element. He's the key. What did you know?
Benny,
Who told you to do
jump
that?
to conclusions
Adam,
on this,
I'm a
dude.
grown man. I know how to speak for myself.
I'm just
Let
saying,
me do
you're
it.
jumping.
I'm not
and
jumping.
hopping and leaping
Adam,
to conclusions.
I don't know. I got to tell you. What is the immediate reaction when there's a shooting in a place?
Get
or something?
down.
Everybody runs.
And you're
run towards
dancing
it.
Sheikhani.
It's a little weird.
Oh, it's very weird.
It's a little weird,
The guy's
especially with
obviously
the
mentally
suspect background
insane.
that you have. So where I'm going to with this is,
Look at that.
dude,
Unbelievable.
I want to know exactly what happened here.
Thank you.
I want to know exactly what happened here. That's what I want to know.
Pat,
This is
scale of 1 to 10. How much do you trust the authorities at this point? whether it's the FBI, whether it's Kash Patel, whether it's Utah State Police, how much you trust them to do the
believe
right
the
thing.
official narrative of Charlie Kirk said that is what, Tyler Robinson?
Yes.
No.
No. Just trust them. Trust them.
Hell no.
That is Tyler?
That's not what I'm
But
saying.
what is the narrative,
How much do
though?
you trust them to do the right thing?
Oh, trust to
That's
do the
three
right
questions.
thing.
Do I trust
I'm
the
asking
narrative?
one question.
No, I don't
so
think
do
Pat
I
does either.
trust that they'll do the right
Yes,
thing?
that's the only question I'm asking.
I'm going to give you an answer that's going to be a weird answer. I trust that they know if they get it right here, their credibility will go to the roof in ways we've never seen before. But I trust they're going to do, of that happening, is 30%, 35%.
Wow.
I'm right there with you.
I'm right there.
I'm right there with you. I'm
Our law
3366
enforcement or
that they do the
Adam,
right
James
thing.
Comey just
I'm with
got
you.
indicted,
Yeah,
and
but
he's
this
a
is
law
Kash
enforcement.
Patel. This
I
is
don't
Trump
give a damn
now.
who it is. Adam,
Do you
evil
trust
lives
Trump
in
to do the
everybody.
right thing?
Adam, evil lives in every.
No, I
like,
get
bro,
that,
you
but
have family members
but
that are
Vinny,
evil.
Remember,
Hold on.
hang on, guys.
People in
Adam,
power can be
we're-
evil.
we're-
Adam,
we're
to be
playing-
fair,
it's-
Adam,
It's the allure.
No
like,
emotion.
No, I know. It's the what amazes me is your shock of like, wait, you mean the government and officials in the government would lie? Adam, that's all they do, and that's why their trust is at an all-time low. Nobody trusts the government.
This is a new regime.
Adam,
Trump, Kash Patel.
the agency itself. I don't trust anybody because when they come in, Adam, their tune changes. So you just have to, I hope to God, and I pray, and I have the hope that he told me to, hope that somebody in there goes, wait a minute, you cannot let this guy die in vain. There's no freaking way. Because your narrative is wrong. You're off. Figure it out. Okay? Because we're not stupid. He keeps saying it, and he's right. There was 3,000 people there. Everybody and their mother. We don't even know. A lot of these people haven't posted anything. This.
I don't like this.
I want that camera footage.
Adam,
Show it
you're
to
asking
us.
a lot of questions, and there's validity to your questions. Do you trust Trump? Do you trust these people? I think what Vinny is saying is, and not to speak for Pat, but I think Pat just spoke for himself. I don't trust the narrative on Tyler. It doesn't sound like other people here trust the narrative on Tyler, and I've got low trust for the DOJ right now. They've an opportunity to get it right, and I've got low trust for that. I can't answer the question in this, do I trust Kash or Bondi or Trump? And you're asking about names. I'm only going to say that it hasn't been that long that Kash and Bondi have been in there, and the FBI's got a lot of rotten corners.
Thank you.
And by the way, I don't mind Adam being skeptical. I actually like it that Adam's taking a position that he's taking.
I'm agreeing with that,
And-
but he
and
was
I
asking
do
about,
think-
do you trust
No,
people?
I-
and I'm saying what I don't trust
Yeah.
right now is administration
Everything-
of DOJ and the narrative.
Everything for me, Adam, is odds.
Yep.
Everything for me is odds. You hire somebody and you say, odds are 60% this guy's going to be a good hire. You don't say 100% this guy's going to be great. You don't know. Odds are. And it takes a minute. You marry somebody, odds are this temperament's going to work with my temperament. Odds are you don't know for a fact. I'm just saying there's a high opportunity here to gain the trust of the American people if they get this right. But it looks very, very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. Anyways, gang, for some of you guys that are watching this that would like to be with us when Eric Trump is coming live to the podcast, and by the way, Platinum members, you're going to get a chance to take a picture with the man as well. I can't tell you the date because it's only 2 members only. If you want to be a member of our cigar room, room lounge, go to Boardroom Cigar Lounge. Go to memberships, submit your applications. It says join now. It's got the prices there, but it's not about the price. So first, fill out the applications because it's a background check process that we go through. All the way at the bottom, one of our guys will get a hold of you. You're going to get a chance to meet Eric Trump. Some people say he may run one day. Who knows? We got a lot of things to ask him about what he thinks with 2028, any of that stuff. So that's going to be available to you for those guys that want to apply for that. And we will give the dates to those that become members of when it's going to be. But it's going to be very, very soon. And if you're somebody that watches her take and you love the show as much as I do, and you want to nominate certain ladies to be a part of it, or you yourself are watching and saying, I want to be considered, we have the form available as well, Rob. I think that one you pinned up to the top in the chat and the comment section for you to do that. Anyways, having said that, God bless. Have a great weekend. We'll do it again next week. Bye-bye, bye-bye.